Ladies and gentlemen and in-betweeners, I'm your host, Alexander Rodriguez, here for On the Rocks radio show, where celebrities and cocktails mix tonight. We have celebrities of a different kind. We have industry experts here on how to be a gentleman. We have Nolan Roberts, skin and makeup expert and founder of 11 for Men. We have Stephanie Nishioka with the Men's Warehouse talking about suits, and more suits. We have DJ Shane Steele in the house with music trends and surviving Coachella. We have financial advisor Stephen Kine, and he's got licenses, folks. Oh, turn me off. Stephen Kine does have financial licenses. Do you have license for those guns? Oh. Wow. Also, we have fitness tips and gym etiquette and gym attire. We have Fernando Rivera, grandson of Geraldo Rivera. That's just a lie. I just made that up. Totally made that up. And we have citizens from Citizens Jones Travel with the latest in travel. We have Vincent Jones. So raise a glass and let the drinks begin. Woo!
Propose a toast.
This is On the Rocks with Alexander, coming at you from Sunset Gower Studios in the heart of Hollywood, where I drink with your favorite celebrities and we talk about fashion, entertainment, pop culture, reality TV, and that's about it. So pop a cork, pour a glass, lean back, and enjoy On the Rocks every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Universal Broadcasting Network.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Oh, it's going to be a bumpy night. Buttons and bows and pantyhose. We have a full-packed house. And I'm even sharing a camera, which never happens. You guys, it's like a before and after picture.
Wait.
I'm not saying which one I am.
Wait. But he's on the left.
Yes. Oh. Who's left, though? Because the viewers see it reverse. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Yes, I am before and after. All
yes,
right.
you are.
A word of advice from On the Rocks. Everybody asks, how can I be an Instagram social media star? Number 1, take off your shirt. Number 2, be a drag queen. Number 3, take off your pants. Number 4, be a drag queen.
Yeah, that's how you do all of the above.
Did you guys hear? So the police went to a funeral to unlock somebody's phone, and they took the corpse and put the finger on the touch thing. Did you guys hear about this? True story. Hands to God, true story. It did not work. Can you imagine going through all the trouble and it didn't work? I was like, why didn't they just chop the finger off and like bring it back to the
and figure it out?
Yeah, like why isn't that on Law and Order? Like I want to see I want to see that happening.
That's funny.
Thank you to our sober listeners for tuning in. We love our sober listeners. Thank you for holding our hair back and driving us home. If drunk texting was a sport, I'd be a pro athlete. Whoop, whoop.
Hey,
yes, okay. Hello to our listeners around the nation on iHeartRadio, Universal Broadcasting Network, Player FM, Stitcher, TuneIn, Satchel, iTunes, Google Play, and of course we are Facebook Live on Hillcrest Social in San Diego, True FM in Ohio, and nationally on Bear World Magazine.
Right. Love that.
I love Bear World Magazine.
Yeah, put them like a bear.
They're my boss.
So what about
Check out for my celeb interviews, movie reviews, and my weekly movie news. And this week I talk about The Power of Grayskull. The He-Man Masters of the Universe movie is greenlit.
Wow.
I'm excited about it. Is anybody old enough to even know what He-Man is?
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Hello, you were He-Man.
I'm not old
every
enough,
day.
but I know it.
You're like starring in it.
Yeah, he's like, it's Halloween. So that's greenlit. The Jungle Cruise, the movie with Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, thank you.
Not so much.
Okay, Dwayne Johnson, literally, you guys does the same film. I believe
time.
all they do is change the movie poster, and we still go say we don't even know it's the same film.
He wears the same shirt.
It's the same safari shirt with like the sweat stains.
Yeah, it's the sweat stains. Yeah.
And he's like fighting some creature.
Yeah.
And he's got the same facial expression every
One
time.
eyebrows raised and like.
There it is.
Of course, I'm not looking at his face to be honest, but I won't say that. Also, The Conjuring gets another spin-off called The Nun, about that creepy nun from The Conjuring 2.
Yes.
I want none of it.
None of it.
Puns this early.
Puns. Oh, we are so punny around here.
Oh,
Thank
so
you,
funny.
Kurt. Yes. Also, final movie news: Lynda Carter is joining the cast of Wonder Woman 2.
Yes.
Like a boss.
As it should be.
And she looks
Yeah.
amazing.
Is she a
As it
villain?
should be.
Yes.
I mean, she got a star for something.
Yeah.
It was in Palm Springs, though, right? So
Oh,
it's kind of like the gold star that they put on like your report card. Thanks so much for this honor.
Off Broadway.
Yeah. No, actually, it was on the Hollywood Walk
It
of
was
Fame.
the Hollywood
Yes,
Walk of
you go,
Fame.
Lynda Carter. We love your Wonder Woman face part 2.
That's
Yes.
shade.
This shit.
That was
Spin,
shady.
spin,
That
spin.
was shady.
No, I love her.
I love
And her
too.
new
I
face.
do.
On the rock. Oh, I just broke my chair. My chair is sinking. Do you see me sinking?
What am I doing for you?
That was the power of Lynda Carter.
See? She said, don't
She
come
heard
for
you.
me.
Oh, she just came for you, girl.
Because that was so funny. Okay, a little On the Rocks announcement. We are coming soon to Spotify, and we are coming to Alexa. So all you need to say is, Alexa, play On the Rocks. I will be in your living room. Everybody's
if it was
nightmare.
that easy.
I know. It is that easy. Believe me. Crack open a bottle, I'm there. For our audio listeners, you can check our video stream on Facebook. We are now on YouTube, and of course, Hillcrest Social app. Download the Hillcrest Social app for all of your San Diego LGBT news. They give away products, concert tickets, anything you want. And my articles from Bear World Magazine are there. My mom, Mama Rose, is in the chat room on ubnradio.com and Facebook Live. Hi, Mama Rose. Ask her your questions and keep her busy. If it's a burning question, she will let me know. We will ask it on the air. Keep her busy because she has a full bottle of vodka, and I don't have it in the budget for bail.
Yes!
Again. Hello, I was born that way. Okay. Hello to our engineer, Kurt. Oh, God, you guys brace yourself. He's got his own microphone. It's like a karaoke mic. Kurt, do you have a pun for us? You're so punny.
I always have a pun.
Make it snappy. We have a full show.
I know you got a lot of. Okay, I had to go to the doctor the other day because I ingested some food coloring.
God.
Let's think about this because they're usually so easy and stupid.
But where?
No.
Oh.
What?
Oh, is that bad?
What? I guess it's not a question anymore.
Yes.
Why, Kurt?
I learned I'm a little dyed inside.
Oh my God.
I literally think that was the worst one you've ever done on the show. That was the worst one. Thanks for phoning it in, Kurt. Like your outfit. Just phoning it in.
I love his outfit. It's cute.
Great shirt.
It's the Mario Brothers. How can you not like
He looks like a lesbian on an oil rig. Okay. Like us on Twitter and Instagram at On The Rocks On Air. Facebook, On The Rocks Radio Show, if you're still using Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Find us on the web, ontherocksradioshow.com. Send me an email. Book me for a wedding, funeral, quinceañera, bris. I don't care. I will show up. I'm actually doing some weddings. You guys, I take the focus of the wedding, so sorry.
I bet. Right from the bride.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well, I'm doing a groom one, in a couple of weeks.
Oh, good. That's awesome.
Let's see which one I sleep with first.
I was going to say, you're doing the groom?
It's a bachelor party.
Groom in the boom boom?
Please.
In the room?
It's been a while for me. There's cobwebs going on. But the website has been revamped. You can see all of the video and all the audio from our past shows. Just go to ontherocksradioshow.com. Want to be part of On the Rocks on the Road? Saturday, May 19th, I am hosting the hottest Long Beach Pride Party with RuPaul Drag Race winner Alaska Thunder. I can't say her last name.
No.
Men's Underwear King Andrew Christian and Real Housewives of OC Peggy Sulahian. She's actually coming on the show on May 15th. Yeah, exactly. And all the top DJs. In fact, Shane, I think you're spinning the next day for the Overboard.
I am.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it's at the top nightclub in Long Beach. Get your tickets at overboardlbc.com. I'm hosting, and I got my little VIP area, so I will be toasted.
My company sponsored them last year.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. Also, we're coming for you this summer. We are hosting Out at the Fair at California State Fair in Sacramento, San Diego County Fair, New Mexico State Fair in Albuquerque. Make your travel plans. Come say hi to me. We kick off June 9th at the Core Stage in San Diego. We'll be in New Mexico September 9th. I don't know the Sacramento date yet because I'm Sacramento.
Oh, stop.
Don't hate on Sacramento.
What am I going to do there? Just be fabulous in a corner?
There's a lot to do. They have a big gay neighborhood there.
I'm not gay, Vincent Jones. How dare you make assumptions? Making assumptions. Are you black? I just assumed that.
Oh my
My
God,
mama said I was.
Yeah. Not your ex-boyfriend.
You're a busy boy.
Last but not least, a shout out to our sponsors, Testloop. Testloop is the only way to travel in luxury from San Diego to Orange County, LA to Palm Springs, and now they're doing Palm Springs to Las Vegas. Go to testloop.com. Let them know On the Rock sent you. It's a great. You sit like in your own little pod. You don't have to talk to anybody, and it's a Tesla. They put it on autopilot, literally.
What?
Yeah, our
Do we
driver
wanna
was
do
playing
that,
the ukulele.
really?
Yeah.
And no one's
Yes, you
driving?
do.
The ukulele.
I mean, there's a driver there in case something goes wrong,
okay.
but nothing went wrong.
Does he want to talk to you?
Yeah, it's friendly, but you can talk or not talk. They give you noise-canceling headphones. You get your own little TV, snacks.
Can you hear Beyonce?
He'd have the
I like
headphones on.
snacks.
Snacks.
I don't want to talk.
Right?
About
What is this future thing?
No, I love it. And you guys, it's cheaper than Uber. It's cheaper than like a bus to any of these places. So just do it. Panache Optical Gallery.
A buzz.
Public transport, sweetie. Wow, talk about the 1% over here. The bus. Public transport.
I'm from Orange County. I'm sorry.
We don't. I love that. I love that.
From the OC.
I am from the OMC too.
Yeah.
Yes.
The OMC.
The OOC. You're like, OOC? Yes. Hello, Republicans. Okay. Also, Panache Optical Gallery. They do all of the fashion eyewear. They do custom-made eyewear for all the celebs. Go to Panache Optical Gallery. We love them. Pride Shoes. Pride season is coming up. Get your Pride Shoes. This company, it's prideshoes.org. They give back to the community.
Yes.
They sent me my Bear Pride shoes, my regular Pride shoes. They are gorgeous and they're so comfortable. And you can wear them at the gym too.
Are they
And then you can
rainbow?
Instagram the whole thing.
Are they rainbow?
They're whatever. They're whatever bow. They're transgender bow, bear bow, rainbow,
Cubo.
Cubo, tie bow.
Twink bow.
No.
Sorry, Ollie.
I'm still brushing off the charges from the last one. Also, Mulholland Distilling. We actually ran out of Mulholland Distilling, but they are a liquor sponsor, and we're getting a whole case next week. Mulholland Distilling is the LA-based liquor co-owned by Joanna Cassidy, Golden Globe winner, where we're now friends, Walton Goggins, who came on for our wine tasting. Also, we're adding 11 for Men to our sponsor list.
Yes, thank you.
So we're going to make some announcements of some promo codes. We have a few promo codes to give out tonight, so I'm very excited for that. And pay your cable bill. I am coming into your home on national TV with my new TV talk show very soon, and I can't release any details yet. Just pay your cable bill. I know my friends are like, on Netflix. No, you won't.
Wow, that's anger.
I'm aggressive like Beyonce at Coachella, right?
We'll find it on the internet.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, you'll find a lot of things of me on the internet. Who's on the show next? Who saw The Disaster Artist based on The Room? James Franco's movie.
I've seen the original movie.
Okay, so we have the guys behind it. Tommy
Yeah.
Wiseau and Greg Sestero are coming in. I'm
That's
so
cool.
scared for that. Next week we have entrepreneurs and Instagrammer Rachel Lynn McCord is coming in. And Sean Griffin, who's one of the youngest entrepreneurs, and he continually gives millions to the community. He went from nightclub junkie to vitamin patch creator. So also coming in, Stan Zimmerman, writer for Roseanne, Gilmore Girls, The Golden Girls is coming in to talk about. He's doing the reboot of Golden Girls with gay men.
A reboot?
Yep, reboot just got greenlit. All right, so then we're going to do things a little bit differently. We're doing a roundtable, and we're gonna get expert opinions on everything you need to know on how to be a gentleman. And all of our lady listeners, you need to listen up too, because you need to tell your men what's up. And we're going to tell you what's up. But we're going to start with a little icebreaker just to get things going. All right, so icebreaker. What is your worst date ever? I'm just going to go around the room. Vincent, should we start with you? Because I know you have many.
Yes.
I only have great dates, except the date that you and I had.
Hold on. I got a drink. Hold on.
Lies.
No, such lies.
Lies. Okay, let's see. Worst date stories. I guess. Oh my gosh, I should have thought about this beforehand. I had a date. Okay, I know one. I had a date.
Can I say the name?
No, my God. I know you want. Okay.
No, my God. That's a new one. I'm stealing that.
Okay.
No, my God.
Oh my God.
No, my God.
Okay, I will tell the story that Alexander wants me to tell. There was this guy who he calls Chad Michael Chad.
You guys, he was so OC white. I called him. His name is Chad Michael Chad. That wasn't even his name, but I kept calling him Chad Michael Chad.
And he was very nice. I invited him over to a breakfast. And
Was I at the breakfast?
You were at the breakfast.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yes, you were, because we drank a lot.
Yeah, we did.
Oh.
So
That could be
So
any breakfast.
it was a
for me.
brunch then.
It was a
I was gonna
brunch.
say
It was
brunch.
brunch. Oh yeah, brunch. We don't do
Yeah.
breakfast.
No.
The moral of the story is about the bad date. Which you? Oh no, a better bad date. Okay, no. Okay, here, and I'll be really quick. This is cause now remembering. I can talk to a rock, and this guy said nothing. We were at this amazing restaurant. We have met. You know, he was a great guy on paper. We got there at the dinner. It's like crickets, literally cricket sound.
That happens so often.
Cricket sound.
Oh, good for
Bam.
you, Kurt.
Good there.
Yes.
There you go. That's what it was like. And I was like, so, tell me about what you do for work. And crickets. and I was like, oh, okay, so how do you feel about Beyonce?
Well, that's normally the answer, isn't it, though?
So, needless to say, so after dinner, he was very hot. We still hooked up.
So that's not a date then.
That was
That's all
it.
he wanted.
And that was it. That was it.
That's all he wanted.
There we go. And scene.
It's like, why did you make me pay for dinner? Just
Yeah.
let's just get
Right.
to it.
Oh, he paid for dinner.
Oh.
At his restaurant.
Oh.
In New York.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Gordon Ramsay.
Oh.
That was awful. Worst sex I've ever had.
Yeah.
Okay. That was wonderful. Thanks so much for kicking that off with a bang. Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, Fernando.
I can probably relate to you. I had a date recently that was an extended weekend, but yeah. So
Was that a first date? Your first date should literally be an hour, and that's it. Literally.
It was first, second, and
Yes.
third date. So it sounds like.
Maybe.
Your
distance.
first date?
It was.
What are you, a lesbian?
No, it was just. It was long distance. So I was like, okay, like, we're traveling to do. We're trying it out.
So you gotta take time.
And then I can't get
my
too
chairs
too
over.
in depth because my mother is listening.
This is true.
However,
It's your mom's birthday, by the way. Hi, Nelly.
Hey, Nelly.
Happy birthday, mama. Yeah, but it was kind of like I was feeling it, everything was good. I was like, oh yeah, like, this is perfect on paper, perfect, like in reality, yada yada. And then I got emotional crickets.
Oh.
Like completely just like.
Did you say the L word?
No, God no.
Oh, okay.
No, mama taught me well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just kind of like.
Until you get the Equifax, you do not say, I don't know. Yeah.
No, I do not. No,
I kinda do.
Prenup. But yeah, I mean,
We have
pretty
lots
much
to
it.
talk
Was just like I felt it, like I was there, and then it was just like, wah wah wah, and then it's like.
You know that when you
not
travel with
fun
somebody,
anymore.
that is the biggest key. If you're in a couple, if you're married, traveling with somebody is probably the hardest thing you can do with
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
else. Like it literally is.
Yeah.
But how long
I
was it
agree.
before the date that you guys have first met?
10 minutes.
Like a month.
A month.
Oh, I would wait to have it extended after a month. No, that's too soon.
Oh, I mean, it's a
But
weird,
1
it's a weird
hour
life.
for a date?
For the first date, because you don't
Why?
want to like over deliver and you just.
True.
Right.
Yeah.
What about an
set
hour and
expectations.
15 minutes?
But it's back to swiping, so we're good.
Oh.
It's
Back to swiping.
Back to swiping, so we're good.
I joined Tinder. I've never met so many crazy people in my life. And I've dated every one of them.
that
At
was
the same
one
time.
Same day.
All right. Stephen Kine.
I don't think
I know it's been a while because, you know.
Well, it's been about a year with him, but yeah, I don't think I really.
Not a
had-
bad date, by the way.
That's why I said.
Every day has been
Amazing.
perfect.
I'm pretty
Every
sure
day
you're
has been
amazing.
This is PS. Appreciate
With amazing voice, yes.
I don't know. I don't really have any horror stories. I usually just
come on.
kind of no, because I skipped the date and went.
Straight to relationship.
That was his worst date. Somewhere he's like, this hot guy stood me up.
I can relate.
Yeah. So they weren't usually long enough to be considered dates.
Oh.
Welcome to the community.
or I'd fall into a relationship and it was more of that kind of thing. So long-term relationships or 3 or 4 hours.
You guys are so polite.
3 or 4 hours.
4 hours is good.
Like my worst date stories are like jail is involved, an animal is injured, and you guys are like, we just didn't connect. Come on, Shane. I know you've got a good bad date story.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I went on a date with a girl once.
All right, that was your worst date. No, poor girl.
Oh. Well, this date, what we were going to do was go on a hike. Well, we started going on a hike, and next thing I know, she's throwing a dip in her mouth. And
A
I
dip?
was,
Oh.
yeah.
What's a dip?
Oh, you mean the candy?
Is she from Texas?
A chew.
Chew.
A chew?
Like
What's a chew?
tobacco?
Oh.
Tobacco.
Yes.
And then
Where were you?
Are you sure it was a
In
real
Colorado.
woman?
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it like a Hollywood date where you don't know?
She was kind
No way.
I guess she was kind of
terrible.
country, I don't
Oh,
know.
no, it's a thing.
But,
See, but some guys might be like, hey, she's down. I like girls that can kick it with guys and then can go shopping, can go to the opera, but like can ride a horse and like watch football.
yeah. Well,
Oh,
she
but
rode
not
horses,
eat
but
tobacco.
no dip in your mouth, yeah. And then she tried to kiss me, and I was like, no, thank you. And then I realized I was gay.
But Shane, that is so sexist.
It took tobacco to make you
I
realize
was like,
that
oh, no, that's gross.
That's a slogan for their tobacco. Makes you gay. Makes you gay chew.
Skull.
That's sexist because if a guy did that, you'd be all over that.
Be like,
No,
hey, that's
no, absolutely not.
No.
That's gross.
Like I don't like smokers,
No.
but like at 2 a.m. and the bar's closing and somebody's like, "Hey, partner."
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
it's 2 o'clock in the
"Yes,
morning."
Breathe on me. That's true. At 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm just like, next.
It's whatever's left.
Yes.
Talking about cowboys and maybe, yeah.
So Steffi, I know you're a mom. You're married, so you haven't had a bad date in a while. But when you were dating, what's one of the worst?
I mean, I don't think I have anything super exciting,
All
but
right.
I know it's going to be boring. I'm sorry. Don't be disappointed. No, I think the worst I've ever had is I was going to go to the movies with this guy I was dating, and he fell asleep.
Oh, and the movies?
Like, yeah. But like,
That's me every time.
Well, what was
Oh, so you like snored and everything.
No,
I looked over, I was like, are you joking?
but what was the movie?
Yeah.
It was a Dwayne Johnson movie.
Did you ever go on a date with a guy that you thought might be gay?
Oh, good question.
She's from the fashion industry, of course. She
I have.
works with them too.
Yeah.
No names. We see each other.
Shade. It's just real.
Okay, Jeannie.
I love it.
Yes.
All right, Nolan.
Sorry.
I don't know because I always get in relationships. I'm like the one that people have bad dates with.
Oh, you're the other end?
Because I say I love you really quick.
Would you stop it?
Why do people do that?
What? Say I love you really
so quick.
Why not?
Because I'm full of love.
the fairy tale is real.
Listen, I was born in paradise. I was born under a rainbow. Okay?
In Hawaii.
In Hawaii. So
including your tatas.
Yes.
Wait, you said you're from the OC.
I was born in Hawaii. Who said that?
People can move, Fernando. They're not restricted by the
Orange County
corner.
is like Hawaii Part 2.
Oh no,
That is very true.
That is not
That is
true.
very
That
true.
is not
It's
true.
not true. But my mom moved us here when I was 14 and to Newport Beach, and it was similar.
Maybe
Okay,
Laguna
yes,
Beach, but
Newport
not the rest
Beach.
of OC.
Laguna Beach is not
No,
gay anymore.
there's
I have
some-
news for you.
It is still gay. I'm there all the time.
There's like one bar.
Yeah, but one bar is good enough.
Yes.
That's not even good enough
Because
to be a
all of
bar.
us go to that one bar, and it's packed.
Yes.
So it's good.
We all congregate there because I go to OC a lot. We all congregate there and we just stare at each other and talk about how miserable this bar is. I'll have another.
If
I'll
you're
have
coming
another.
from Los Angeles, then duh, but you know.
But that's
it's
every
good.
gay bar in the world.
It was fun when the Boom Boom Room used to be there.
The Boom Boom Room.
It's
and it
back
was-
once
Is it
every
back,
3 months.
really?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
and it
Wow.
smells like it's been closed.
So Alexander, your bad day story.
Yes.
So it was an anniversary date, and it was at Sir, which we know Sir is Lisa Vanderpump's place right there in West Hollywood.
Yes, sir.
And an anniversary with the boyfriend?
Yeah, no, my taxi driver, of course.
What? It could be.
It was a boyfriend, yes. And so it was anniversary, big dinner, whatever. We did the whole course meal with the dinner drinks, the martinis, and then the wine and all that. And you know, I'm a pretty funny guy, and he was a very little guy. I don't know if you met him.
I think I did. I think
Yeah.
Latino?
Yes,
Yes.
So adorable, whatever. But like we had just eaten and drank the whole time, and the bill was so much, and so we were finishing up and we got a cappuccino, and I made him laugh, and then all of a sudden his eyes got big. He threw up all over the table.
No.
And it sprayed through his fingers to the people sitting next to us. And I mean, it was everything that I had paid for. I saw my money rolling down the table. And then he ran to the bathroom. He wouldn't come out for 2 hours. And they finally said, we're going to have to like bang the door down. Or you have to get him out. I had to pay a $200 cleanup fee and then apologize. And then he left me there and vomit while he cried in the bathroom.
A cleanup
Not your
fee.
problem.
That was our last date, to be honest.
I would hope so.
But I
Not
wouldn't hold it
your
against him. If he would have like laughed about it, and then like the next day we could have said, okay, that's a memory for the kids. But he was so embarrassed by it, and I didn't like that he put so much importance on that. There was no sense of humor with that.
What anniversary?
Yeah,
was
but
it?
maybe he was embarrassed though.
Second year.
Oh.
I mean, I've seen him do everything else. All right, let's get the show on. So how we're going to do it is it's going to be a total round table. So I'm going to introduce formally our guests little by little as the evening goes on. But I want to start with something that's fascinated me for a long time that is really becoming like a hot button, and that is makeup for men. So let me introduce expert makeup artist Nolan Roberts is the winner of the one of Lifetime's very first reality competition TV series, Blush, the search for the next great makeup artist, which included...
Yes, Auntie.
Thank you.
Yes. Included a contract as a professional artist with Max Factor, $100,000 cash prize. Where is it now?
That was years ago. Bye.
Bye, girl. And the chance to be the makeup artist for an InStyle magazine photo shoot. Hawaiian native, he began his artistry skills at a very early age, and in college he joined the local dance classes and performed in many of their productions and learned the art of makeup. Also, given the opportunity to dance for Disney, which of course gave him a lot of makeup, and that was for the nights out.
It made me gay. Hi.
that and the chewing tobacco. He worked with Mac for 10 years with an expertise in blending, precision, creative transformation, and clean beauty, and soon became one of the most respected Mac artists in Orange County.
Gosh, went deep in that.
Yes. While working for Mac, he was able to work on many events for the company, including celebrity-hosted events, master classes, Macy's annual passport charity fashion events, and 6 seasons of Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week. And while working on these events, he had the opportunity to work with such well-known celebrities as Paris Hilton, whoop, whoop, Nicole Richie, Liv Tyler, Carmen Electra, America's Next Top Model winners, Joanna House, Ava Pickford, and Jasleen Gonzalez. No, stop it. And he fulfilled his lifelong dream and launched his very own makeup line, Nolan Roberts Cosmetics. But being before the age of Instagram, Facebook, and all the social media, he honestly talks about the challenges of starting a new company. And for these past few years, he created and launched a makeup line for men called 11 for Men. And he is now focused on making 11 for Men a household name for men's grooming, also in the works of creating skincare and apparel, and working on a new reality show. I better be a guest judge on that.
Yes, of course.
Yes. Please welcome Nolan Roberts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up?
Hey. Okay, so I have to know.
Yes.
So a little bit on the personal side. Going from the reality show bubble, and we've had many reality stars here. You go from the bubble and being like the winner and press, and then it's like back to reality. How do you work through that?
Xanax.
That's the Real Housewives of OC.
No, it was a wake up call, but you want to use that platform. And back then we didn't have like the social media platform that we had today, right?
Yeah.
So we had MySpace. So that we can, So I did as much as I could on that.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know that.
So if the show,
Girl, you know hieroglyphic space. You're like chiseling your like profile on the side.
Early.
Come on.
drink your drink, Shelby.
Yeah, my juice.
It was I used what happened, being on the show to my best ability, and came out with a makeup line for women. But the competition is heavy, and throughout the rest of the years to follow, I just knew that there was a need for a cosmetic line for men. Because I did makeup on a lot of men. There's a lot of grooming on, especially for grooms. And I'm like, why are we not doing this? You know what I mean? Like, why can't men enjoy a little cover up?
Yeah,
Okay.
pampering.
But I just want to look at some pictures. You also do the makeup for Z Lala, who's a pop star that's been on the show many times.
That's him right there?
love that.
There's Z. Look at this makeup work.
Wow.
Oh wow.
It's just beautiful. And of course, she wears your looks to the Billboard Music Awards and the Latin Music Awards. And
she was on your show.
And so, yeah, she's on the show tonight. She's
I
so
love her
great.
pieces, yes.
Okay, so but makeup for men, I have to be honest. Number one, is it a gay thing? Number two, is it acceptable?
It's not acceptable, and it's not a gay thing. I think there's a lot of the demographic as far as people buying beauty products is actually higher for the men, especially with hair product. And I think men are starting to care about their skin. They're starting to care about their eyebrows.
It's like the whole metrosexual
So
thing.
it's the next evolutionary step, isn't it, in the beauty industry? And that's makeup for men. And my makeup is literally something that is quick and easy. It's not like, Jeffree Star, no shade or anything. It's not like heavy makeup and glitter, and it's a little concealer. And my makeup also is packed with ingredients to benefit a man's skin.
And they're
So
vegan, they're
it's
like
vegan,
fragrance-free.
fragrance-free, everything. And it's packaged in a very masculine. Yes.
It's in a black box.
Yeah.
My life in a box.
Very simple.
Okay, so I need to know what are the basics that a man can and should put on.
Well, listen, if I think my company, what I want to do is I want to promote confidence, right? That's the first and foremost. And that's why I had this hat called I'm Hot. Because you gotta just.
My mom is going to want it. Be very careful.
Everybody is hot. Everybody is somebody's cute. All right, so everybody's a 10 in my book, but
That's so sweet.
My products will take you to an 11.
That's why it's 11 for men.
Boom, boom.
So what's the process then? So I sit down, I wash my face.
Yeah, there is a light application, a medium application, for the mid-afternoon, and then a full application when you go out dancing. So, when you go to work, you can use our BB cream is a sheer, it's a light or sheer to medium coverage. It's like a tinted moisturizer. All right, so you're putting a moisturizer. It has sunblock of 25%, and it has vitamin E and D and antioxidants, and light reflectors and everything that's going to benefit a man's skin throughout the day from the harsh rays and all that stuff.
Now, I have a question.
Yeah.
'Cause a lot of makeup is not made for people who are dark skinned. Do you have for all skin tones of black?
We have it for our skin tone, but we have a deep dark that we're working on right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great.
Cool.
Okay, so I put on this beginner, and Kurt, go ahead and play the video while he walks us through. So I put on this beginner, right?
Well, who's this? Who is this? Oh, this is Ollie. Yes.
He goes.
Do I use like so he's going to do it now.
Okay.
And then we blend it together. Like, I know nothing about like.
Listen, here's what you do. You tap, you spread, you press. That's it. It's like a gym exercise, right? You just tap the product on your face, you smear it, you blend it with your fingers, and you press with the sponge. And you're out to go. You can do it in 6 minutes, 5 minutes.
So that's all I need is this moisturized foundation.
You can do that, and you set it with like our Invisible HD loose powder. It's pure silica, which is it really kind of diminishes the appearance of fine lines. So it bounces light.
I need 2 cases of that, please.
3.
So you can do it. So you can do it in the car before an audition.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and that's what this is, it's for everything. I mean, when you go out dancing, I mean, men, look, we care so much of how we look physically, like we go to the gym, and I teach cardio fitness.
Yes, we do.
And for years. And so
you guys, you need to go to his Instagram and look at his cardio, and it's on YouTube. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Oh
and a lot of guys, I see they care so much about their physical appearance, and why not, if you're going to walk out to the club looking all shredded and hot, and then you have dark circles, I'll be like, what? Just use a little bit of concealer and you're good.
So then you could put like highlight under your eyes, and that's
it's a concealer, right? It's a concealer, and the thing is, it's just makeup. It washes off. You know what I mean? So I don't know what the whole big deal is.
Why do you feel like it's a big deal?
Well, because it's a stigma with men wearing makeup, even though makeup was created for men. But
it was.
Yeah.
History. Yeah. Give us a little history, girl.
Yes.
I ain't gonna throw all the history stuff yet because I don't make sure that I'm correct.
No, okay.
I will back you up.
Yeah.
No, that is true.
Yeah, it is. And as far as
for the stage or for
no, it started
judges
for judges, for stage,
yeah.
for
Wow.
Yeah.
The men had
I'm
the
talking about
wigs, the
ancient
men had the
history.
makeup.
In Egypt, men started wearing makeup
eyeliner,
with the first
right.
the whole
True.
And then Cleopatra was like, "Bitch, move over. I'm gonna wear this."
I think, isn't it like?
Well, she was a little extra, so
She was very
Isn't like the human species the only species where the female actually has to dress up and like look glamorous?
Yeah,
for
because
the
the
male?
men, right.
Right.
In the entire animal kingdom, it's the
Yeah.
men who
It's
are
the
like
other way.
puffed up.
Okay,
and,
come on, Peacock.
I know.
and even high heels started off for men too, because
To look taller, right.
right,
Yep.
And they
because
never,
the
and never
roads-
ended.
Yeah, I have a lift or two.
That's why you keep cheating.
So there's no when I think of makeup for men, I think of like so much like men I've seen walking around with like this like Bobby Trendy, where there's like lots of blush and lip gloss and like eyelashes and all that. We don't need to do that because I'm looking at you and it looks so good.
No. Well, I have a lot more because I knew, right? But but if I go to the gym, I use my tinted moisturizer, and I dust on a translucent powder, and so you just want to look your best.
Yeah.
So why not? Why can't men leave the house looking their best?
Okay.
So.
All right, and like you said, it's getting more mainstream as more
It
straight
is,
men are
right.
caring about the way that they look.
Right. And they're having boys be the spokesperson for Maybelline and for CoverGirl.
That's
Yep.
great.
So
And the
that's
Price is
good.
Right has like male models now.
Right. So it's getting more gender fluid, and that's good. Yeah.
So now, does working out though make your skin worse? Like, what should my daily regimen be for like skincare
It all
without
depends
makeup?
on everybody has a different skin type. You could be oily, you could be dry. So that it all depends on what what kind of skin you have. So you want to hydrate all the time.
Yeah.
All right. It's like my mom said, when you crimple like a piece of paper and you unfold it, it's all the wrinkles are still there. So, but if you wet it and you do that, you could flatten it out.
Oh, all right.
So
that vodka, Alexander, water.
No.
Yeah. Oh well, you don't have anything water here.
That should be the name of my biography. There's nothing water here. But like, you should wash your face in the morning, wash it at night.
Of course. The skin is the most important thing that you got to take care of, right? Besides your health. But, when I was 18, I was using moisturizer, So my mom was like, you got to put so much on your, constant moisturizer. Constant.
Yeah, I've used moisturizer for a long time too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sunblock.
Yep.
I mean, I love to tan.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm Hawaiian, so I'm allowed to. I was made to be under the sun.
Okay, but like, what does spray tan do to your skin? Is it better to, obviously, like, you shouldn't go out and tan, but we all do, or we want to look tan. So should we just do spray tan, which I still think looks fake?
It does look fake, but, we want to, preserve your skin. Because, the sun damage doesn't appear for 10 years.
Everybody have 10 years left.
Well, I'm
So
black,
the damage you got
a
from
little
10
longer.
years ago. You got a lot of protection.
Black don't crack. Black don't crack.
It does, yeah.
You guys, Vincent is 72 years old. He's the Morgan Freeman of West Hollywood. He looks the same age for 1,000 years.
And then it cracked.
It's all downhill from
You cracked something else.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But constant working out, doesn't it bring all impurities, and doesn't it don't people that work out tend to have bad skin?
Well,
They
it
don't
promotes
care.
testosterone.
Yeah.
It boosts your testosterone levels, so that could help.
bro.
It all depends if you're if you are acne prone, and if you build up a lot of oil, then it all depends on that. everybody's a different skin type, so you got to talk to your dermatologist
There you
and
go.
get it right. Get your skin tight and right.
How often should we be visiting a dermatologist? I don't think I've ever been.
No, you don't have to go all the time. Just go once.
But like when?
Like,
I went to one, when I was in high school,
Girl,
I
your
went to
appointment is
one.
overdue. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
Puffy don't crack either, just so you know. Lord.
I love it.
All right, let's talk a little fitness. We're going to talk about more about makeup. Let's talk about fitness. Fernando Rivera is a true Renaissance man, Mexican-American artist living in L.A. He's had the fortune of working with many talented actors, producers, and directors, including our good friend Jorge Chalopa, on commercials, television shows, feature films, and his extensive front of the camera has led him to create art behind the camera. As a founder of Fernando Media, a content-creating powerhouse, he strives to provide the entertainment community with fresh, quality material across multiple platforms. His first project, a horror short film titled Where Monster Hides. I saw that movie once. Totally different. Has been an official selection of several festivals this year and recently won Best Horror in London's 2018 Discover Film Awards.
Wow.
Currently in
Very
post-production of Absolute Terminus, a futuristic series based on artificial intelligence, which is so hot right now. Melissa McCarthy, by the way, has a film coming out about artificial intelligence.
Really?
Yeah, it's a comedy. Well, she's in it. Fernando has also has been established in the literary world, handling the publication of Fernando's debut novel, The Afterliving, book 1 of his Blood and Silver series, which is about vampires and Jesus and the whole bit.
Jesus. Yes.
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 Jesus! His creative influence can also be found in the retail clothing industry. Together with business partner Amanda Chaparro, he serves as co-owner of Texas-based apparel company Iron Faith, a provider of casual and athletic attire. So we're going to talk about that.
Yes.
He received his initial fitness certification through the National Academy of Sports Medicine and has extensive knowledge in strength training, supplementation, dietary nutrition, and cardiovascular health. He ranked in the top 94th percentile of the Great North Run last September in the UK, which is the world's largest half marathon.
Wow.
Please welcome Fernando.
Nice.
Hello. Hi, Fernando.
What's up, boo?
All right, so you work out a lot. We see it all over your Instagram. Step number 1 on how to be a social media person.
I'm trying to be less whorish and more of substance. but
Okay,
yes,
all right.
yes, yes.
Good luck.
What's your Instagram?
Why do all of like the shirtless pics get the likes? It's like I post like some
It's
really
true.
thought-provoking
because
thing.
you're getting
that's
True.
like
both
wah, wah,
straight
wah.
Yeah, that's true.
and
That's true, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
you're getting
isn't
everybody.
Isn't it in like in?
It's your hashtag.
because we
I
love
never
you
saw.
too.
I never saw Sex in the City, but they say like first you get the gays, then
You
get
never
the
what?
girls.
Exactly.
I never seen that either.
It's just
so.
it's so before my time.
Oh my
I'm just
God.
like
Excuse me.
Girl, you were watching
Lies.
the original
Say
Golden
it.
Girls.
just kidding.
Lies.
Yes, you were saying. I'm sorry,
Lies.
Vincent. Shut up. I will stab you under this table. I swear.
A monster hides, or what?
Where Monster Hides. So Where Monster
Touche.
Hides.
Yes.
Let me tell you. So Where Monster Hides is the first short that I produced. I actually I've written several shorts and features before, but I thought, oh well, let me get my feet wet doing something that's manageable, and it's something that I wanted to be able to pay for myself. And so it was 5 pages long. It took us 12 hours to shoot. It ended up being 8 minutes. I shot it in my apartment. I had a really amazing.
What's the address?
1313 Mockingbird Lane.
Good comeback.
It was.
You're not old enough for that.
Right.
It was so it was a total fluke the way the cast and crew came together. It was a lot of first timers. Like my editor had only done promotional primetime work, and this is the first time doing scripted television. My sound person, Amanda, she had only done a lot of animated work. She'd never done a live action horror film. My good friend Nasalda did the horror theme score to it. She's a musician on the side. My good buddy Matt, he's like this, 5'7" little ginger pixie, and he actually played the monster, which with a mask that I made.
Gingers are very scary.
Yes.
No offense.
So
yeah.
I'm not ginger.
You're kind of.
No.
Oh. He said that straight. He's like, no, I have a soul.
He's in denial.
I'm strawberry blonde. Thank
Okay.
you.
There it is.
The guy with the 2 biggest muscles, he's like, I'm strawberry blonde.
That's my nighttime voice.
Never judge a book.
2 bottoms to make a right. Okay.
Sometimes it does.
Not even gonna say anything.
My mom's watching.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Mom!
Hi, Nelly.
Yeah. So yeah, we just put it together, and it ended up, looking fucking amazing. And so, ooh, can I say that?
Okay, I get charged $10 every F word, but okay.
Sorry.
We're rich here.
Yeah. So that was, and the story. So it's about this this young man who gets mailed a book by his mother that he made when he was a child, and as he flips through the book, it's a guidebook to where to find a monster. And he realizes that as he flips through the book, he sees that the drawings he drew as a kid match the apartment he lives in now.
Oh.
So he starts going on a hunt in his own apartment, checking all the places where Monster is hiding, and eventually Monster finds him. So that's, wrapped up in 8 minutes. But yeah, enough of my childhood.
Well, no, but you're able, because I'm a fan. I first saw you in Jorge Chalopa's web series.
Yes.
What was the name of it?
It's
Strange Love? Yeah.
Yes.
I
was to say Stranger Things.
Yes.
Same difference.
But you're able to work your fitness routine in all of this, and I want to know, for the modern man, everybody's too busy for anything, right? So how can one incorporate a true, what's the minimum amount you need to subscribe to a fitness plan per week, and how do you mix it in with everything else going on?
The minimum thing you need to do for a fitness plan is to monitor your diet.
Yep.
That is the minimum thing
Next.
you need to do.
Yeah.
That is the hardest.
Is pasta involved in this at all?
Pasta can be involved
can be.
in it, but
It's just
you
made
have
out of
to-
squash.
Yes.
No, that's
yeah.
not
I mean,
On Sundays at 1:30 p.m. only.
I want
Unlimited
regular
pasta if you
pasta.
want squash pasta. Unlimited.
I don't want pasta.
Nobody wants it.
Okay,
Nobody.
why don't you walk me through what is your normal eating routine during the day?
Oh no, that's not good.
But this is a good example, because she's literally busy driving from
Yes.
site to site, long hours, and then she has to go home and take care of family. And we all
It's a struggle.
we all have so many things that we do. I don't have a family to take care of because I
Yeah.
hate children, but
Well,
Mine
there-
love you.
Wow.
well, diet being the primary thing in that, I mean, it's simple science. You want to eat less than what you're or rather, you want to expend more than what you're eating.
Right.
And for a lot of people, it's very hard to monitor, their diet. But I can guarantee you, you have to choose what works for you. Because I'm an extremely OCD person. So it's like, if you tell me to eat, 198 grams of protein, this day, I will do it to the T.
But that takes time to do. Nobody has time to sit and figure that
that's
out.
what I was going
You
to say. It's
Yeah.
a lot of prep work.
Yeah, you
beforehand.
don't. So
Yeah.
what you do instead is that you look at portion size in terms of just a fixed amount that you can have in your head. You don't have to count the exact amount, but if you spread out your calories throughout the day, it really helps you to be able to treat yourself towards the end of the day. If you realize, I wasn't able to have my bread in the morning, or I wasn't able to have my my rice for dinner, and so you can have cereal before bed if you want to. I mean, I was training for the half marathon.
I do that. Of course,
I
it's
do
at
that
3 in the
often.
morning. It's after night at
Exactly.
Mickey's, but okay.
And everybody
Mickey's
says
away.
oh well, don't eat after 10 p.m. That's bad for you. It's like it's bad for you if maybe you've eaten your allotted amount of calories throughout the day, but if you've been running around all day long and you haven't had time to sit down for an actual meal, you can sit down at 10, 11 p.m. and have a meal that you could have had earlier in the day, but you just have to make sure that the amount of calories that you've expended running around, if you want to lose weight, is more than the amount that you're going to eat at the end of the day.
What about technology? I mean, isn't there a lot of things that can count your steps and your
yeah,
calorie
totally.
intake? So in today's age,
Yeah, I mean, and if you want to, you can get a step counter. You can get, any Fitbit, iPhone, or Apple Watch type of thing.
You have a Fitbit?
Yeah, and if you want, you can
Tracks my sleep.
The best thing that
When
I
I
would
get
tell
it.
Right?
the best thing I would tell people to do is to calculate your resting metabolic rate, and that's pretty much the amount that your body expends when you are literally laying in bed all day. If you
Binging
are
on Netflix.
binging on Netflix or on Stranger Things or Strange Love.
Yes.
Hashtag George Jalapa. So if you can find out how much your body burns throughout the day, then you can kind of tailor what you can eat, when you can eat throughout the entire day, and you don't have to really think about it. So when I was doing training for the half marathon, I realized that my whole body completely changed, because I was going from being really strict and limiting my calories to now being like, oh crap, I'm running 40 plus miles a week. I need to make sure that I'm putting back what I'm expending. And I was actually the heaviest. I was at 197 pounds, running 40, 45 miles a week than I was before I started, because I was putting in so much to keep me going. So I would say the primary thing is the diet. If you don't want to do the diet, I understand that. The best thing you can do is make the healthiest choice of that option. or the healthiest option of what you want to eat. You know, it's like there are ways to eat rice pasta, you know, which is a lot better than doing flour, because, you know, if you do brown rice pasta, it burns at a slower, you know, rate than regular white pasta, which, you know, can be soaked up by your body like that. And it's like, you know, sugar's not bad. Like, white bread is not bad. White pasta is not bad. But if you eat it right away and then you're sitting for 3 hours, then yeah, that's going to be kind of bad. That's going to be kind of equivalent to eating candy and then sitting for 3 hours. But like, if you're, you know, if you eat it and then you're like running from, you know, audition to your job to, you know, to trying to meet a client, like you're putting it to good use. And that's really what you want to do, is just, you know, think of food as fuel. And that's the best way to approach a diet. Like, if you know you're going to be active as hell, then, you know, fuel your body, because you're going to need it. You know, your brain runs on glucose. You're not going to be able to make smart choices or be a tolerable person if you're not feeding it glucose. You know, so sugar's not
So
bad.
that's the problem for Alexander. He's worth glucose.
Yeah, you know.
So you're saying
I thought it was a perfume.
Like, vodka is glucose, you know? So it's like, you can just, like, sugar alcohol.
But they say, like, the clearer, the better, right?
Yes, that's what they say. I mean, I'm usually a tequila person, so I'll drink tequila sober.
I end up in jail.
Hashtag
true story.
As I'm saying that, I like knock my glass over. Like, I'm totally sober.
Let's go work out, you guys.
And if you want to work, if you want to do something that I found out recently that really works for me, is carb cycling. And carb cycling, you know, it takes a little bit of science behind it, but what you do is, you know, you have days where you have a consistent amount of protein, but you'll do a really heavy carb day and a really light fat day. And then, you know, the next day you do a moderate carb day and a moderate fat day. And the next day you do a really high fat day and a really low carb day.
I could do that because I can subscribe to anything for like a day or 2 days, knowing that
it changes.
I like that carb cycling.
Yes, and depending on like what kind of body that you have, you know,
I have many of them.
Yes, exactly. You know, like
in your closet, collection,
just pick
in the
one of those
basement
from your freezer. You know,
they filmed Dexter here, by the way, just so you know.
like my body reacts really, really well to a high fat diet and a lower carb diet, and I've realized that like throughout the day, you know, I really enjoy, like, I'd rather have like 3 tablespoons of peanut butter than a cup of rice. Like it just satiates me a lot more.
3 tablespoons of peanut butter.
Yes, which is
and everybody's body is different,
like
though.
22 pounds.
So
yeah, you have
some people.
Yeah, like you can be.
No, it's real.
Oh, it's
just
good.
like that.
Yes,
just like that.
You have, you know, your ectomorphs, your mesomorphs, and your endomorphs. You know, like your mesomorphs have like a kind of exactly
Power Rangers.
Exactly. So you have like a mid-range body where, you know, you hold on to just the right amount of fat and just the right amount of muscle, and it's not too hard for you to gain or lose, you know, mass. Whereas you have, you know, your ectomorph, where you have, you know, your guys who are, or women who are extremely, you know, slim, and they can eat and not gain weight. I personally do not like these people, because
we have one sitting right here in the corner over here.
Yes, because I have to kick my butt with cardio and with eating properly to maintain my body mass, if not, you know, try to lose weight. Whereas I have friends who are like, yeah, I really have to eat like, you know, like 3 pizzas and just kind of keep my weight.
Frustrating.
And they're like, oh, it's so hard to gain weight. I'm like, screw you. Like, do you know how hard it is?
I have a glass of water. I'm like, oh, it's Weight Watcher time. That was 2 points for my glass of water.
Exactly. And then you have, you know, your endomorphs, more like the gentlemen who are sitting next to me, I would assume, who are, you know, huge. And it's like, it's not, you know, not hard to put on that mass or put on that weight. And also, so yeah, depending on what your body type is, and I've heard, you know, blood type diets really work for people. So there's a lot of things that angles that you can hit that will help your diet. So you can try to think, okay, I'm going to approach this from my body type, and then try to eat from there. I'm going to approach this from, you know, what do I have available to me? Do I have a really high carb, you know, access when I'm working? And, you know, when I'm staying at home, do I have a more high fat access? So you just have to balance everything out. You can eat whatever the hell you want. Just balance it.
All right.
You know? And adopt something that you can maintain. Don't be those people.
You've upset a skinny person, by the way. They ran out in tears.
He's like, I'm out.
And adopt a lifestyle that you can maintain. Don't jump on the bandwagon because all your friends are becoming vegan. You know, it's like that's the easiest way to fail is to
become vegan.
It's
the big joke. How do you know your friend's vegan? Because they tell you about it every 1 minute.
Yeah, it's like vegan and CrossFit.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And
They should do a vegan CrossFit like cult.
Yeah, and I'm
Probably is
Soul
paranormal
Cycle.
activity.
I'm
Vegan CrossFit.
Yes. I'm like a Mexican from Texas. I'm not allowed to be vegan.
Right?
Like, it's against our code.
Your mother wouldn't let you.
My mother would not let me.
Right.
So true story. When I was in college, I was vegetarian for
What?
like a half a second.
What was his name?
I went home. I went home for.
It was the drag queen named Celery.
I went home for winter break, and we had my grandmother made this dinner, and I was like, Grandma, I don't eat ribs anymore. She's like, well, your grandma made ribs, so you eating these ribs. So I was like, okay. And so that was the end of me being vegetarian. My grandma
Yeah,
said
committed.
no, but that's a good thing
Very
because
committed,
like your
yeah.
cultural background
Oh, yeah.
gives you a lot of pressure. I come from a Latino family. If you're not a little chunky, then you're wasting
Unloved.
away.
You're
Exactly.
unloved.
Yeah.
Your mom's gonna say, "Are you okay?"
Right, and then if you
wrong?
don't eat what's
Yeah.
on your plate, it's rude to who has ever made it.
It's so true.
And also, when your culture has some poor population, then it's rude to leave food wasted.
Like when you're traveling, it's similar. When you go to people's homes or whatever, they feed you stuff, and you're like, what the hell is this? And then you're like, but you have to eat it, otherwise you're seen as like that rude American.
And it's funny, like when you travel, and we'll talk about travel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When I went to England, I lost 10 pounds. I was there for like a week and a half because English people don't celebrate by eating. Like when we are in America, we have a party. What's on the menu? Like number one thing we have to take care of. Well, for me, my parties, it's the alcohol, but
True.
But it's like, what food are we serving? Because we associate it with congratulating ourselves, or when we're sad, we eat. Like at funeral, when we have a wake, what's the first thing that comes out is the food. You go to England, and like when they want to celebrate, they crack a smile, and like that's they call it a day. They're like, wonderful time, wonderful time, wonderful time.
Like jolly
Jolly good time. So yeah, okay. Well, thank you. We're not just gonna like ask that. We're gonna roundtable it,
yeah.
but this is our way to introduce everybody. So talking about like big beefy guys, DJ Shane, and we're gonna talk about because you also have a fitness background.
I do.
But if you've ever heard DJ Shane steal spin, you're immediately convinced that this guy was born a DJ, like out of the womb. He's like, the doctor's like, it's a DJ. Oh, and he's gay. From the all-night events of the Rocky Mountains in his early years to the high-energy club events of the West Coast, this DJ turned Navy veteran, turned back DJ, is making one indelible impression on the club scene and shows no signs of slowing down. A Colorado native whose musical roots were fueled by hip-hop, 80s, rock, and EDM, Shane found inspiration in artists like Seb Fontaine and Judge Jules, and his years of hard work and determination landed some well-deserved alongside time among major global headliners. His big break came in 1999 when he played alongside George Acosta.
God, that was so long ago. Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, talk about like big,
right.
we have more vodka here, gentlemen.
Where?
With big names like Tiesto. Here, girl.
We're in need.
I want a free suit by the end of the night. Drink
Oh
up.
my God. I'm still working on mine.
I couldn't.
With big names like Tiesto, The Crystal Method, Deep Dish, and Digital Assassins, everybody was taking note. Helped him secure coveted opening spots working with them at events. And at the height of his DJ career, the events of 9/11 struck a personal chord in Shane, and in early 2003, he took a break from music to join the Navy. The military eventually brought him to San Diego, and after 2003, he took a break from music. Oh, we already said that. Brought him to San Diego, and he immersed himself back into the nightlife culture. It was calling to him, and a decade later, he has risen through the ranks to become not just an international DJ, having headlined major events in the U.S., Canada, and Austria. He's become a brand, a full-scale brand. He launched House of Steel, a hybrid DJ production promotion company, fusing his signature sound and style with visual performance element to his many, many fans, known as Househeads. Girl, I'm a househead!
That's so cute.
He continues his DJ domination with residencies at clubs in Atlanta, Chicago, LA, Toronto, headlining signature clubs at events all over the world. You guys have to follow him. Your summer tour, by the way, is already out of control.
Yep.
You guys, please welcome DJ Shane Steele.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, but in going off the fitness, you work late hours. You'll start spinning 10 p.m. and then be done 3, 4 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
And then if you have like a morning tea dance, then that's like 6 to noon.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, you work out.
Yeah. It's all about like he said, it's all about like getting your schedule down, right? And knowing, especially for being a DJ, you have to know when to go to sleep and make sure you get your sleep.
But how do you tell your body that?
I mean, you work around it. Like sometimes I'll have certain gigs where I have to like sleep and then set an alarm, eat, and then go back to sleep. That way I stay on my diet schedule.
Just take Ambien. You can eat while you sleep. It's awesome.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, believe me, I know. Hello.
But yeah, it's tough.
Well, I have to show a transformation pic. We have one of your baby pics.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
Look at this little baby.
Oh, no.
All right, then
I think my mom's watching too, so she'll
perfect.
probably love that.
Then let's show like the muscle man pic.
Uh-oh.
Look at
Wow.
That's
That's
like
a
a
model
trunk.
for my.
yeah, seriously.
Okay, Zaddy.
Like
Only a
literally.
6-month transformation.
Yes, Zaddy.
That looks awesome.
Zaddy.
Aww.
Oh. Whoa.
What I like about you is,
Yes.
you know, both of us do a lot of work in the nightlife. We do a lot of events, and our paths cross many times. You always maintain your humility and your friendship, but number one, above all, is professionalism.
Oh, yeah.
Nightlife is so full of unprofessional people that won't show up for gigs, that don't do what they say that they're going to do, who oversell, even promoters that oversell certain events. I think you have such a following because you maintain the highest level of professionalism. You bring the personality, and there's never any drama around you whatsoever.
Never.
How do you not get involved in like the nighttime drama?
I just stay out of it. You know, it's not my business. I'm there to do a job, and I'm not there to get anybody's promoter's business or any crap. I hate it. So I'm like, you know, I'm here to play music and make people happy, and I'm going to be happy doing it. Okay. You know, so keep your drama for your mama.
Yeah.
Unless it's Nelly or my mom, because mama comes first. Yeah. So Shane, what are the cool kids listening to now? And I'll be honest, my music listening, I don't know how everybody here feels. My music
Show
listening
tunes.
used to be Kiss FM. I would listen to everything off of there, and then I would tape from the radio, and this was years with cassette, and I would like, because
I used
we
to
didn't
do
have
that
all this
too.
streaming stuff.
Yeah.
But I
used to do
feel
that
my
too.
exposure to new music is less because I have to go out and seek it.
Right.
I have to go out and download the
Yeah.
thing or
No, I
stream it
agree.
or whatever.
Well,
And I used to come across a lot of obscure music that of artists I didn't know. Now I'm like listening to the same artist over and over.
You gotta date
because-
19-year-olds.
No, never again. I don't need my credit ruined yet again.
well, you know, in today's day and age, it's a lot easier for people to be producers, for people to be musicians.
Anybody can put up a YouTube music
I mean,
video.
and anybody can get Logic Pro for $199 on, you know, Apple Music or whatever, and make their own stuff. So it's and being a DJ is huge now too. So everybody's a DJ. I'm sure
Well,
everybody's
let's
heard that.
do
Like
quote
everybody's
unquote
a DJ.
DJ, and it's funny.
Right.
There's a Tumblr about DJs that their boards are not even plugged in, or it's like an iPod shuffle. Like the biggest thing is Paris Hilton, and I love me some Paris Hilton, but she's not a DJ.
No.
She like presses shuffle on her iPad, and she's like, "That's hot."
I have the I actually have the biggest beef with Paris. So Paris, me and you.
You probably are her biggest beef.
Yeah, like, and everybody knows how I feel about Paris. But
Really?
yeah, I can't stand her. Anyway,
But like you said,
build
it's
a team.
mutual.
no offense, no offense.
Yeah, but like you
I just I think she makes a mockery of what I've worked years and years and years
Yeah.
to
I didn't even know she's a
perfect,
DJ.
you know?
I don't even know where
Yeah.
she's at.
she gets
I mean,
paid
she's
a
not.
lot to go to like Ibiza, whatever. They put her
Right.
on stage, and she does this,
Right.
and she presses a button every now and then.
Right.
She's not a
It's
DJ.
awful.
That's
No.
not her
No.
career. She,
needs
didn't
to
study
stick.
it.
She needs to stick to walking around saying that's hot and that's hot.
Which is
That's
great
it.
because she
Yeah.
does that very, very well.
Right.
I'm a huge fan, but I
Right.
also know what her limitations
Right.
should be.
Right. But as far as what kids are listening to these days, I'll bring up Coachella since we went last weekend.
Yes,
Yeah,
you have
Coachella.
survived Coachella. Did you go for
We're still recovering.
both?
No, we
weekends?
went one. I can only handle one weekend.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Did you guys fight at all during
No.
the Coachella trip?
No, it was great.
It was fun. Yeah,
You
we had
guys
a
are
good
so
time.
adorable together. Makes me
Adorable.
so cute. No, you guys are really cute together. Just
you.
to say, you
Thanks.
guys have to check out their Instagram. It's like a Hallmark card for the gays and
Do
the bears.
you guys have like sexy couple pictures?
No.
No, they're very.
You know, like
No, you know
Insta
what?
couple,
No,
right?
you know what?
Isn't there
No,
like
they're-
an Insta
they're
You know,
couple?
I was actually in a very public relationship before like that, and it didn't end well. So I
Paris
promised.
Hilton?
He was in the Carl's Jr. commercial. Remember, she took a big bite out of it. It was like, this is a triple cheeseburger right here.
No, so I promised myself that the next real relationship I'm going to be in, it's not. We're not going to put it all on Facebook and social stuff. Like
I
we post
love
here
that.
and we
I
post
love
here and
that.
there. Like like we don't post pictures like, oh, look at us laying in bed together and
Right.
look at us sitting on the couch
Naked.
together. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We're like, oh, we're standing in front of this cool statue. Let's take a fucking picture of it.
It's not
right?
clickbait.
Excuse my language.
Right.
Like a normal couple? Wait, what?
Right.
A gay couple being normal?
Right.
Cannot happen.
But no, we have fun together. It's good. But Coachella was awesome. Right?
Now, do you think Coachella reflects what people are listening to right now, or
Yes.
they're just trying to get names?
Yeah, so here's my example. So there's this new genre of dance music out called Trap House.
Oh,
Trap house.
And it is the most
South.
awful crap I've ever heard in my life.
Excuse me.
It is. It is awful.
What is trap
I don't even know
house?
what trap house
Yeah.
Trap
is.
house?
Talking about like
We're
trap,
so
trap.
behind.
Ew, trap
I know what
is
house
awful.
is.
I love trap
I know
music.
what a
It's
thirst
awful.
trap
It's not
is.
It's
I
not
love that.
danceable. It's
Yes, it
gross.
is.
No, it is not. It's gross.
How would you describe it?
I
Yeah.
don't think I've
It's
ever heard
noise.
of it,
It's noise with some lyrics behind it. It's really awful.
Is it like EDM? Like, is it dance
it's
music?
it's an extreme form of EDM. I think it's an extreme form of EDM.
Like, what's one of
It's
the
just my
top
opinion.
artists?
Everyone. I mean,
fine, it's
obviously,
fine.
there's a lot of people who love it because they turn this whole tent that used to be all about house and trance music and stuff into trap house. Right? It was like
The Sahara tent?
it was awful. The Sahara tent. Yeah, it was awful. It was just
What's one of the biggest names in trap house?
Eckley, I think is how you say his name.
How do you spell it?
EKALI.
E. coli.
Can you look that
E.
up?
coli.
I'm actually really interested.
Yeah, it's
So is it like trap music? Like trap music? You know trap music?
What's
No.
trap music?
Trap music is like so kind of
Into the microphone. It's radio.
Beyonce does a lot of trap music, kind of.
Crap music.
We'll get to that.
So like trap
That was a
music.
bit much, Nolan.
So like trap music is like it's basically a lot of southern hip hop that's about a certain type of like kind of like more dirty, about like kind of prostitution, drug
I
selling.
never
Oh, no,
heard
that's
that.
different. No, it's
Yeah.
different. Yeah, it's different
Trap
than that.
music.
But it has a very specific sound to it, also like kind of
Yeah.
chopped and screwed and everything else.
Yeah, it's got.
Been there.
I mean, it's just got all these weird noises.
Like
It's
big,
just-
like
to me,
big
to me,
freedom.
it's very odd and very not danceable. It's weird.
Is it like Bjork does
But
dance
I'm a
music?
like, I'm a house head. I'm a disco head, and
Yeah.
I love trance music. So it's
I
like,
gotta hear your music.
yeah. I mean,
No,
I'm,
you have to. He has a lot of tracks that you can listen to. What I love about your music is that you always accommodate the event that you're doing, but
Yeah.
you add your flair.
Yes.
You can read beats like nobody else, and that's not something that you can shuffle. A computer can't do that. You put beats together that I would never ever consider hearing together, and you create this energy that even if you're like by yourself at an event and you're a wallflower at the bar, you feel part of the party, and you have
the point,
that
yeah.
that
Wow.
that.
He's having a moment.
I
over
have a
there.
question.
Can
I've
we do
always
this
wondered.
after this show?
Yeah. Where are you DJing at?
Right.
We're gonna go to his car, and he's gonna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's play it right now. The after party.
Where can we download your music?
SoundCloud.
I-
SoundCloud, or I'm on iTunes also.
Okay.
I've always wanted to ask a DJ since sometimes I've been at a club where it's like nobody's dancing, the beat changes, and it's like, can't the DJ see that nobody's
Exactly.
enjoying
So,
themselves?
yes.
Like, why is this same music going on?
Yeah, so that is your that's how you can tell from a real good DJ from a bad one,
It's
because
like they have their
yeah,
list, they want to play
Yes.
regardless of who's
Or
enjoying
they've
it.
So-
pre-mixed it and pre-done
yes.
everything.
So there's a lot of DJs that'll go before their gig or whatever. They'll go through and they'll literally pick out different.
You're cut off.
No more,
Can you
no more,
pass the
no more
back
vodka
there?
for that one.
They'll literally go and pick out their whole every single track they're gonna do back to back. And I'm like, how do you know what the crowd's going to react to if that's the way
Right.
you do it? You know,
Right.
I never plan my sets. I never, I kind of get an idea of what I'm going to play for the event, but I always read the crowd. Like if I play something vocally, like for example, people on the West Coast, they really love vocals. They love vocals,
Yes.
right?
I love vocals.
yeah.
And then people on the East Coast are a lot
words.
more grungy. They like it a lot more dark and dirty and less vocals.
Why
So-
do you think that is? That's an interesting
just-
point because I
it's
never
just the
put that
cul- it's
together.
just the
Because
culture.
New York doesn't like people talking.
Yeah, it's just
they
the
don't like
culture.
voices.
Right? And I mean, I think it's I think it's the different culture in the area you live in. It's just the way it is.
And in New York, they're like late in their high already. 'Cause
yes.
it's going at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly.
I
yeah.
didn't realize last call in New York was so late.
Oh,
until
God.
like
I hate
Yeah.
that.
What is
I love it.
No.
It's
Four?
real-
Aren't they
it's
changing the
late,
last
yeah.
call here though in California?
They're trying to.
trying
It's
to, yeah.
it would create so much more economy for the community.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I don't see what the harm is.
Yeah, there's no harm.
Yeah.
And it can
Nothing
do-
good happens after 2.
and it
But
can
then
be
your
accessible.
friends force you to stay out, and you're like, I want to go home and eat peanut butter.
So
Like,
tired.
You're that
I just want to go home and eat peanut butter. Like, please.
So who inspired you to become a DJ?
Sylvan Fontaine, Judge Jules, George Acosta, Kimball Collins, Tiesto, a bunch of people. I used to, when I was young, I started raving when I was 14, and
Yeah.
in 1994,
shit.
and
What year?
1994.
That was like the
Ooh.
cool club kids.
Yeah.
Like that was
Yeah, I got
Did
in
you
the
wear the
club kid
costume?
scene.
Wear the
Yeah.
costumes?
Yep, I wore beads and costume and all kinds of shit.
Wow, that's fun.
And growing up in the rave scene, I kind of befriended a lot of like big name like promoters that were in the scene. And then a friend of mine opened up a club in '98, and I was 18. It was a 21 up club. So in order for me to go, I was the one who had to go pick up all the big DJs, right? So I picked up Tiesto, I picked up
Wow.
Richard Humpty Vision and Bad Boy Bill and all these like big names.
Wow.
And I couldn't go out on the dance floor. I had to stay behind the DJ booth. So it allowed me to watch the DJ, what he's doing. And I went, well, when I turned 18, my mom bought me, thanks, Mom. My first turntables and a mixer.
That is some support. That is some support.
Yeah, I mean, she knew it. I loved it, so
Look
she
at the mom
got
theme
it.
tonight.
Yeah, I know, right?
No.
Like my mom is in the chat room, running the chat room. She's like, "Here goes, son."
Hey, Modi.
But I would go home and I would practice what I saw, you know, on vinyl and stuff, and then it just grew from there.
And I wonder if you have more of a talent because you had to do like the nitty gritty, like learning how to mix and all that. Kurt, what's happening, Kurt?
He's falling limp.
He's going limp.
Steven's like, oh God, it's Coachella all over.
Right,
Our tent was very quiet. You guys don't show. It's a family show.
You're terrible.
But I'm wondering if that's really because you had to do it from scratch. Just like when you listen to vinyl records of like Frank Sinatra or these, they were literally recording without, oh, let's go back and just fix this little part. They had to do it with their full orchestra. And what was recorded in the grooves is exactly what you heard in the studio.
Right.
And so you have to really have an actual talent. You can't fix it later.
Right.
And like if you have your preset done, you can't fix it.
Right, and I didn't have any beat match. Like I didn't have anything to sync button. I didn't have a sync button. I didn't have beat matching or anything. Like you have to learn 4/4 time and all that like good stuff.
Right.
It's tough. It's tough.
Now,
So where do you DJ now?
All over.
all over the world, like literally.
I know.
Do you have a residency somewhere?
Yeah,
like more
Atlanta, Chicago,
Doctor.
Toronto, and what did I name? Atlanta, Chicago,
San Francisco.
Toronto, San Francisco.
Oh, nice.
What's your favorite?
Ooh, I don't want to piss off any promoters,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I love Chicago. I love Chicago a lot just because they get it.
They're
you
all
know,
about
and-
house in Chicago.
Yeah, and they love like Chicago house music. I mean, there's just such a good electronic scene in Chicago. So it's one of my favorite places. But I also love Atlanta and everywhere else I play too.
You never mentioned Los Angeles.
No, and I'll be honest. Like
LA's not big on house though.
yeah, I don't.
You can be honest.
Okay, I don't really like to play in LA.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Why not?
It's just people here are really finicky, and it's like, you know, it's tough, you know, like.
But I think they're finicky for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
They're because we should like this artist because we're told to. This is what's on the radio and what's cool, so we have to like it. No, you don't.
Right, but I also think people in LA, they go to a club for the scene. They don't go to the club for the
music.
DJ.
Yeah.
100%.
Yes,
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
So
true.
And
So
and
true.
it was for example, like I played at church or what's it called? Chapel.
Chapel, yes.
I played there once, and it was on a Sunday, and I went on after Donna, and people stayed for an hour, and then they were like, "Okay, it's time for us to go to Revolver." So everybody went to Revolver. There was literally not one person in there.
Yeah, that's
West
real
Hollywood
cool.
is tough is
Chapel?
because
I would've
remember
danced.
our day at
I
Chapel.
don't remember.
Dancing.
Thank you.
But if everybody does, because they have to be seen at every different place, and so they shift no matter what
Right.
a good time they're having.
Yep.
They have to shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's happened to me before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas
Especially
in
out
Chicago,
here.
they go for the DJ. You know,
Yeah.
like people go for
Yeah.
the DJ.
Interesting. Well, we're going to come back to you because we're also going to talk about how to survive Coachella. You're going to give us a little bit about Beyonce and some of the others. Let's take a little break. We're going to watch, because we're going to come back. We're going to talk about suits. We have so many different body
Yes.
types here, and we need to suit them. Let's
No pressure.
let's hear from Men's Warehouse.
Custom-made suit. Man, I love this fabric. I just wish it was this color with that lining.
When off the rack doesn't cut it, you need to go with a custom-made suit.
So I can pick whatever I want.
You got it, Scott.
How do you know my name?
I'm a menswear magician.
How much is this?
Less than you think.
Now at Men's Warehouse, you can create a custom-made suit personalized just for you. Our expert stylists help you choose your fabric, lining, and style, while our master tailors measure you for a custom-made suit.
You're gonna like the way you look in a custom-made suit.
All right, so
We are exactly alike. I'm like, I can't. I'll be on the
all
floor.
right, people had to go to the bathroom. Here we go. Stephanie Nishioka. Vincent, please.
Wait,
1%
Alexander.
hush up.
Nishioka.
Nishioka.
Wow.
Hi.
It's a beautiful.
Hey.
Nishioka.
That's your last name?
Yes.
I love it.
Thank you.
Her husband's so hot, by the way.
Let's see.
No, I don't. Anyway, Stephanie. Stephanie's a SoCal girl and one of 7 children. This Spitfire studied at the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, Los Angeles, and currently is regional manager for Men's Warehouse in Central Southern California. She coaches and trains sales behaviors, men's fashion trends, fits and styles, and creates solutions for men's clothing needs from weddings to workwear to casual and nightwear. She is a wife and a mom, but still knows how to party, and she can be seen wearing some of the fabulous custom wear from Men's Warehouse in her fashion homage to Marlene Dietrich. Welcome, Stephanie Nishioki.
I love that. We got to see a picture of that.
I don't have, but I've seen her in her custom wear.
With her Marlene Dietrich outfit?
Beautiful.
Wow.
I debated on it today, but you got this instead.
That's okay.
Sorry.
the girls are out. That's fine.
Well, you know.
I mean, it's the gays.
He said sassy. What do you
Sassy.
want?
Sassy means cleavage, yes. So I have to tell you, all you guys know, all my appearances, I always show up in my suit, my pocket square, like, I hosted the International Bear Convergence at Hard Rock Hotel for the pool party. I was in suits for the whole 5 days. Like, that's what I was. Because it's how you build your brand. Yeah. And I have to tell you, I went into Men's Warehouse. My preconceived notion about Men's Warehouse, it was like, oh, it's men's suits, and they're going to have gray, black suits. It's for older men. When I walked in, I didn't realize the variety of, number one, casual wear, nightclub wear, what was going on. And when you walk into Men's Warehouse, you actually get a wardrobe consultant. I have to give a shout out to Jay Haziel at the Mission Viejo Men's Warehouse.
What's up, Jay?
What's up, Jay?
Wow.
Yeah, OC.
Wow.
You can't shop in LA and have people because they'll see how much you spend. And I'll tell you, Men's Warehouse, you get some good deals. 2 for 1. But I have to say, you guys have so many more clothes than I even thought. It really is a variety, and because I go in so often, as I have a new outfit every week. How have suits changed over the years, and how do you guys keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, we plan out, months and seasons in advance to see what trends, and we try to stay as much in the industry as possible.
Is a gay person in charge of all this?
Yes.
But like Joseph Aboud, which is one of our in-house designers, he's in Fashion Week and on the runway and everything. So we get a lot of inspiration from our other lines from his stuff as well. So yeah, it really comes. It takes time to get to the stores, but once it's there, you can tell that the customers are really excited about it.
Well, I have to tell you, this year's Oscars, I know we all watched the Oscars or saw the clips. We saw so many different colors of tuxedo jackets. We saw different textures in terms of silk and just textures. Like, men are able to have fun, just like with men's makeup. They're able to explore and be more fashionable, whereas before it was just all black tuxedos.
Right.
And then Men's Warehouse started carrying Paisley and Gray, which is a line. And now we're seeing these pattern jackets, these fun jackets. It's like you guys came up with that pretty quickly.
That's pretty cool.
I'm really proud of that.
Yeah.
I've been with the company for 15 years, so I think I legitimately feel like we've got it on lock at this point. So.
Now, how have suits changed? Because I remember when I first bought suits out of college, you got the double-breasted, you got the pinstripe, and it was you just bought your suit. There was no fashion to it. Now, when I walked in with a wardrobe consultant, they really pay attention to your body type. Suits have changed in the way that they're molded.
It's completely different from 15 years, ish. When I started,
when you were a wee bit of a thing.
Everything was real loose and real baggy, and I call them rules. There was a lot of rules.
Yeah.
You can only do this, and you can't do this.
No black and blue.
Yeah, right. Well, that's still probably a thing.
Oh, I wear black and blue all the time. It's usually after a date, though.
Yeah.
Oh my God. #me too. Okay.
But now it's so much more fun. And so if a client comes in, it's, part of it is a learning experience for the customer, right? And so they're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to wear. And so that's where that wardrobe consultant or that personal shopper really comes into place, because they put it in our hands. And that's why I still work there, because you get kind of that passion or that drive by doing it and making people happy, and they get that job or they're getting married or whatever the case may be. And you're a part of that. And so it's really cool.
Or they'll come in, like a 300-pound man will come in and be like, I want to look like Ryan Seacrest. Right?
A thing.
Ryan Seacrest.
Well, no, because he created this whole thing, and there's this label called like Slim Fit, and Slim Fit is a thing. It's not a Slim Jim, right?
But he's really
I would like a Slim Jim.
He's really little too, right?
He's got a very
like
European kind of cut.
Yeah. He's
Right, but like
small.
suits started to get like tighter and tighter. So what are the different cuts now?
So there's basically 3 main ones.
Oh.
And there's like 2 off. We'll call off cycle.
Oh.
The 3 main ones are modern, slim, and extreme slim.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
And so when you get a client, you really want to try to find out, okay, well, what does this guy like? And you can look at indicators, particularly for our younger clients that come in. You need to look at what they're wearing. So if they like their jeans in a more of like a skinny jean, they're probably going to like the slim or extreme slim. Don't put them in a modern, because they're going to be like, why is it so baggy?
Can a heavy person wear slim?
Can I have, yeah, as long as it's the right size, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have our custom program too, which is even better because it's like a puzzle, right? And so you can puzzle piece what you need, and then it comes out the way it should, right? So we kind of
like, look at these 2 gentlemen here.
I mean,
they work out so much to have
you
a
would
great.
buy anything other than that.
So I mean, how would you even suit them? Because they obviously want slim to show off their physique,
Correct.
but if you fit their shoulders and chest, it's going to be like
Well,
carnival time.
Not necessarily, because you have to figure with our Joseph Abood custom, there's a lot of fluctuation that you can put in to the sides of the coat, because when you fit a jacket, you're fitting here and here. I don't care about here at all. Like,
That can be
like
cut.
the sides are irrelevant at that point.
All right.
It's really just your chest and shoulders. Once you find that jacket that you like, then I deal with the rest.
Right. So I have a question, because a lot of times we have a lot of trouble with the pants, and even with the slim fit, like my calves don't even fit through like the
His
top.
calves are bigger than my head.
Wow. That's a bad problem.
Thighs that could choke a bear.
It is a problem because I see these cute pants like I want, but I can't fit in them. You know.
Did you say cute?
Yeah, cute. I could say cute and be butch.
You are like everything we should be. You're just like, I am. Yeah, cute.
Fine variations sometimes.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Oh my god, I love it.
How about those cute pants? That's great. Yeah, but how would you put pants on him?
You fit legs first.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, off the rack, and you're my extreme case, obviously, but off the rack probably wouldn't really work in your advantage. But again, if you do that custom program, we fit your legs first, which is kind of, I get a lot. They're like, what do you mean? Well, the waist doesn't fit. Well, I don't really care, because whether the waist fits or it doesn't fit, that can be adjusted.
Right.
The legs are what dictates what size you get into, and then we can just take the waist in or out depending on that.
Right.
So.
Well, that's the problem. You know, whenever we buy something off the rack, it's got to be 36 or more waist just to be able to fit our butt and thigh into it.
Yeah, and
then you have all this loose
and
fabric.
then you look like a hobo with a rope around your waist.
Well, not only that, but you have
Damn.
you'd have to recut the pant.
Wow.
He has like a one-man show over here.
I know. I'm just
listening. I'm just taking notes.
Yeah. Hawaii.
Yeah.
But like when I hear the word custom, I think it's going to cost me $1,000.
No, I mean it depends. So we have 2 lines. So a Joe and Joseph Abood, right? So the Joe is kind of offshore.
I have a Joe.
Yeah,
It's kind of younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is?
Like
Always.
Oh, you
Joe. It's not Joe Mama. Love me a good Joe.
Yeah, so if you have time, that one takes a little bit more time to get, just because it's overseas. But we have one in Massachusetts, in New Bedford, and that one is the killer deal because you're getting Italian fabric, all made in U.S. So the only thing they're importing is the fabric. So it really gives you that, that Italian suit, but made here, and that's awesome for all kinds of different reasons, but
well, not to tell you,
politically and obviously within the industry as well.
And it costs the same, or relatively the same amount as off the rack.
It's
so
it's silly because if that same product is on the rack, the same brand, you're talking about you still got to pay for alterations. Well, that could be like in your case maybe quite a bit, right? Mm-hmm. It's probably going to cost you more to buy off the rack than it is if you just do the factory, because then all that tailoring's included, and you don't have to like play that game of like, I hope this fits when it's done. And they get to cut the fabric in the factory so that you don't have that dilemma.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
And more guys are doing that because, like we've all talked about, guys are really paying attention to their looks, no matter what their body type is. You know, the way you present yourself, especially in sales or any business type, but even like going out at night, people are dressing up, but they're like dressing up as what are the latest trends? Gay, straight, it doesn't even matter, even older, younger.
Yeah. And again, it doesn't have to be all custom, but I mean, it's the easy solution, right?
Right.
It's the easy solution because the other part of it is personalization. So everybody, whether male, female, everybody, right, wants something that's theirs. And so this gives our customers the ability to make it their own. So lining, you get to choose a lining, you get to choose like little fun things with like stitching, functioning buttonholes. You can make it into a more casual jacket. And it just gives you way more control over your garments than you would if you bought off the rack. So.
And when we come back to you, we're going to talk about this new like term, active tech wear, whatever. Which I'm actually wearing a tech wear.
It's legit, yeah.
Is it like
So what is
Lululemon or
Feel
what?
that?
Lycra?
It's,
Do you feel
it's
active?
absorbent.
Let's just say I could rule Wakanda with this jacket.
No, you cannot.
Oh, girl.
We see each other. We all one family, one Ohana, right? Right. All right, so how are we going to pay for these custom suits and paying attention to our fashion? We need to pay attention to our finances.
Okay.
We need to introduce Stephen. As a partner at Sterling Manor Financial, Stephen provides clients with solutions to help them meet their goals of a long-lasting retirement. I hope it's not that long-lasting. From strategies for accumulating and managing retirement assets to retirement income distribution strategies, his career began at a Fortune 50 company where he became a top advisor in his first year. Was that the only time you were a top? As I'm cracking a smile.
I love that picture.
He's so handsome. That's his finance picture, by the way. If I was looking for a financial group and I saw that picture, like, yes.
I was quite right.
That is a slim fit shirt, by the way.
I said Julia Roberts.
But working for this Fortune company, he quickly realized the limitations that existed in helping his clients when working for a company that only sells its own products and services. The company he helped establish, Sterling Manor Financial, came out as a desire to be independent of any other company while being able to utilize the products and services from the top providers. He specializes in investment management, retirement planning, retirement income strategies, insurance planning, long-term care planning, educational planning, small business benefit solutions, none of which I have or even understood what I just said.
That's a lot of numbers.
Stephen Kine.
Stephen, I might call you later.
I'm going to call you as well.
I need you.
He's good at what he does.
Oh, I heard.
Everything is true. Everything you've heard is true.
But Stephen, I have to say, in my past life, I was a corporate banker for many, many years, making the six figures with the office and the suit and all that. Ooh. But I was never able to be my personality.
Right.
What I've seen from your Instagram, from the articles you've written, from the morning shows that you've appeared on, you get to share who you are as a personality. You've also helped the community by honoring some of the Rotary kids. We have some pictures honoring some scholarships and grants. You really get to be you with this financial company. I got so many emails regarding this. What is going on with our economy?
That's kind of a broad question.
Yeah. No, but literally, but honestly, are we that informed that we know exactly what to ask? We just know that we're not happy, whether side you're on, and we're not political here, we're just not happy with the state of anything. We don't know what's happening with international Bitcoin. What the hell is that? What is, are we doing okay? Are we in danger?
No. The thing is that if you ask people how they're feeling, they'll always find something to complain about.
Well, true.
But look at what people are doing, and people are spending money like crazy.
Yes.
Consumer sentiment is very, very high. Retail is doing very well.
Yes.
High-end discretionary retail is doing pretty well.
Really?
Yeah. So people are pretty free with their money, even though they've always got something to bitch about. Generally speaking, the fundamentals of the economy are very, very strong. The only spot where it's a bit weak is fiscal policy. Running $1 trillion deficit is not exactly a great way to run the company country long term. But a lot of other areas of the economy, corporate earnings are starting. Earnings season started last Tuesday, and will continue now for the next month or so. And so far, a lot of that news has been good. There's a bit of volatility in the market, and I think that scares people when they see a 300 or 400 point swing in the Dow.
Or just today, yeah.
Right, but I mean, you have to take that in perspective. If the market's at 25,400 points is not that big percentage-wise, when you compare it to what it would have been if the market was at 17,000.
Right.
400 points was a lot bigger of a swing from a percentage standpoint. So 1 or 2 points one way or the other in the market in a day or in a week is really not a big deal.
But haven't we seen more volatility in the first few months of this year than we've seen in decades? I thought one day it was much of the biggest drop as it was since the Great Depression.
There was a 1,700 point drop, but a lot of what's happening this year is that a lot of the talk that you're getting every time you turn on the TV, everything is very, very hyperbolic. Everything is very, very, very polarizing, and that's causing people to think that the economy is terrible because every time they turn on MSNBC or CNN or whatever it is, it's awful, awful, awful. And the only way, frankly, those
but
people
not
get
Fox.
Well, no, they say it's awful too, but in the opposite direction. But
no,
the
but
fact
here's
of
the
the
thing:
matter,
people use their politics to talk about economy just to say, "Oh, don't we hate this guy in power?" So they use economy for that and use these big hot buttons that we should respond to, and either side of it are doing the same thing.
Well, the fact of the matter is that news is not news; it's entertainment. When you've got a 24-hour news cycle, the news really doesn't matter. So
When's your own podcast coming out?
I'm like,
he is so smart.
But the fact of the matter is,
we know who has the debit card in this relationship.
so it's just an open.
But nobody turns on the news to watch a story about the house that didn't burn down, right? Nobody wants to hear good news. You want to hear drama. You want to hear terrible things, and that's how they keep you watching TV.
I watched Judge Judy.
I love her.
No drama there.
Right? I've learned a lot.
And I saw her in real life too once.
She wears jeans all the time.
Yeah, she was wearing jeans.
Yep.
But you should watch Hot Bench, her other show.
Hot Bench?
Hot Bench.
Oh, Hot Bench.
Oh, gosh.
You know what Hot Bench?
I was like, wait, what?
It's amazing. She
What are we
produces
talking
it.
about?
It's like 3 judges, one
Her producing
decision.
it means that she just gets on a phone call once every
Not
month.
true, not true.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Thanks for that enlightening contribution,
I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Jones. Mr. 1%, he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't need to care. I travel around the world.
Can I come? No.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course. Por supuesto.
So generally speaking, I think that things are good. Sentiment is high. There's really not a giant weak spot in the economy that you can really point at and say, yeah, things are going to get terrible because of that. And as much as people
I love hearing that, by the way. We're not hearing that because, yeah.
Well, and we've convinced ourselves that because,
The sky is falling.
Because most of us don't like
Penny, penny.
who's
It's like
in-
Chicken Little.
Well, most of us don't like who's in charge. And if we don't like who's in charge, we can't admit that things could possibly be good because we will be seen as tacitly approving of everything that he does because he can't be responsible for something positive. It can only be negative, negative, negative. Well, we have to take a step back and be objective and look at things and put our bias about a person away and look at things in the big picture and say, all right, we don't like him, but this, and this are fine, and they're working to our advantage, and how can I capitalize those for my own needs? Because regardless of who's in front, who's at the helm, I need to retire. You need to retire. You need to put your kids through school. You need to do the things that you need to do, regardless of that. And so for those reasons, I think that a lot of people are really starting to get their act together.
Now, I also got this email from many of my friends. What happens when we start saving so late in life? And I'll be honest, part of the LGBT community or part of any single community, we're always thinking about going out to like the hottest clubs, whatever. We'll spend $300, $400 a night. And then we're like, oh, we're kind of getting old. When we see our parents get old, that's when we start to feel old. And we're like, God, I have no savings. I have no retirement. Or when we have to start taking care of our parents or our grandparents because they didn't take care, we're like, oh, what do we do when we start late? How do I save for retirement now when I'm 50 years away from retirement?
You've got to save more.
50 years.
Ish. Give or take, sweetie.
Sorry.
You've got to save more, or you got to have to change your idea of what your retirement is going to be. That used to be when Social Security started, you retired at whatever 65. You lived for 5 years. You stayed at home, or you were on the rocking chair in the front porch, and you died. You were expected to die. Social Security wasn't meant to last for 35 or 40 years, and that's what's happening. So, if you're planning on retiring at 62 and you're our age and mid-30s, that's probably not going to happen because you're going to be retired for longer than you'll be working for if you plan on retiring at 62. Most of us are going to live to probably be very close to 100, at least one person in a couple. by the time we get there.
That's old.
Which one is it going to be? Long-term care insurance. Get it.
I don't have concealer to hide that.
So you've got to change what your idea of retirement is. You know, you can keep spending now and not saving much, but you're going to have a very late starting retirement or a very poor retirement. People don't start retirement poor; they finish it poor. You know, nobody starts retirement eating cat food, because they wouldn't retire if they
go on their
end up
cruise
eating
that they've always wanted to
people
go.
that don't, you know, my grandmother was born in 1921. She was supposed to live to be 54, right?
Wow.
She worked till she was 65. So she worked 10 years longer than her life expectancy at birth, and then she died at 93. So she was retired for nearly 30 years, right? 40 years after she was supposed to be dead. Now, how long do you think you're going to live? Do you have enough money for that?
Well, to my listeners, take what you take home every month from whatever you do, whether you go dance or whatever you do, and turn that into 70%. What are you going to do? What are the first things that are going to go? Are going to be your nightlife, are going to be your clothes spending. It's going to be like your food, rent, and
Right.
Yeah, but if you plan and you say this is the same standard of living that I want, right? Given what I'm putting away, or given what I can afford to put away, at what age can I retire and maintain that standard of living? How hard does my money have to be working for me to be able to provide for that, to fill, you know, backfill what Social Security or pensions, if you're lucky enough to have one, can't provide? And most of us don't have pensions anymore, and our parents did, and so retirement looked easy to our parents because they knew that when they had, you know, 25 years, they were 60 years old or whatever it was, they were entitled to a pension. Most of us aren't.
Well, in the entertainment, you know, we'll get a check for being in a commercial and we're like, yay! And we'll be like, we don't realize that's it.
Right. It's one and done. Yeah.
Oh God.
It's not as much as you think.
Speaking of commercials, I have to embarrass you, Fernando. The hottest commercial hitting the stream. Let's hear it for Fernando.
Uh-oh.
And I love the message behind this, by the way.
Oh, hey,
talking about
Katie.
finances.
McDonald's?
Cue the piano.
Stop.
It's either American Idol or McDonald's commercial.
I've seen this commercial.
Yeah, it's huge, Vincent.
Yeah.
I actually love this message.
Oh my God, that's you? No, I've seen that commercial tons of times. That's
Wait a
awesome.
minute.
Next time, notice
I love
how
that
well
commercial.
he must have a slim fit McDonald's uniform. By the way,
Yeah.
that fits him very well.
They actually,
I love that commercial, actually.
they actually
Small?
had to try to get the baggiest shirt, like the crispiest, baggiest shirt, because it was. I will say I'm extremely grateful because had the honor of doing 4 McDonald's nationals in the past, and 3 of them have been with the same ad agency. So I'm extremely happy for the Alma agency out of Miami because, you know, it's like I go into the room and it's like they see me and hopefully I don't, you know, mess it up on the callback, and it turns into, you know, to that.
Cool.
So
That's a great one.
it's been pretty weird. I've gotten a lot of like people reaching out who I've never even met.
Oh,
who are
I'm
just
sure.
like, we love this commercial.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
do. I love that commercial.
Awesome.
I've
Yeah,
seen it
I've
tons
seen
of
it.
times.
Honestly,
Yeah.
McDonald's does so well, and I love your sweet and sour sauce. Just, you know, not that you work for McDonald's. Here's the thing: I'm at McDonald's
Definitely don't
enough.
eat McDonald's.
If my manager at McDonald's looked like that, girl.
I mean, free tuition for everyone.
Oh.
Knowledge is power.
This is power. All right, but before we retire, we want to travel well. We want to hit our bucket list before we retire. So Vincent Jones. Vincent Jones is the founding CEO and Chief Experience Curator. Did you make that up?
I did.
Okay, I love it. On LinkedIn, he's the only one. He's like the chief of that. Of Citizen Jones Travel. After 25 distinguished years, and I can vouch for every one of those. You and I have known each other for so long.
Long time.
As an accomplished professional in publishing, political campaigns, government, nonprofits, philanthropy, and social entrepreneurship, he has turned his passion for travel into a business. Literally, you guys, he has done everything, and he's done it 110%. Raised so much money for the community, has fought for political heroes that he thought were great.
Let's go.
Even if I didn't. An experienced traveler. He has traveled to over 30 countries. He founded Citizen Jones Travel with a mission to connect unique travelers to curated travel experiences and to each other. It's more than a travel agency. It's a community where people can come together, whether you want a solo adventure, a family gathering, a romantic getaway, a girls' or boys' trip, a Coachella weekend, or more. That's where it's at. I've shared many laughs, many drinks, and I'm so proud of Citizen Jones Travel. Vincent Jones. Woo! All right, so I'm going to be honest with you, and I want you to be 100% honest, which I know you have no problem doing.
No whatsoever.
Back in the day, like when my grandma would do our family trips, it was, let's call our family travel agent. And then that totally went away. Do you remember all of the travel agencies have gone away, even if you had to like book a flight? Now it's like, and this is my thing, because I'm going to a lot of prides this year. I go to Expedia or I go to Hotwire first. You are making travel agents hot again. Is there a benefit to still working with a travel agent?
So number one, Expedia, Travelocity, they're all travel agencies. Every travel product you buy, there's a commission built into it. But when you go online, you're just doing work yourself, and somebody else is getting that commission. And so you work with a travel agency, you're getting the benefit of our relationships, of our know-how, of our experience, and if there's a problem, we will resolve it. I had a client, they were in Argentina, and they were
That's on my bucket list, by the way.
There you go.
My last remaining bucket list is Buenos Aires.
No, it's amazing.
I have a trip there going in November. You guys should come. But there we go. But like so for that.
Oh my God, let's do it on the rocks.
Let's do it on the rocks.
With our slim fit
on the
suits.
road.
Yeah, let's make over someone.
Yeah.
On the rocks,
Yeah.
on the road.
Oh my
Yes.
God, that's a really good idea.
I will break into the Casa Rosada.
Yes.
Yes.
Cry for me,
Madonna.
Argentina.
It's a right
I do it better. Hush. Okay.
But for example, so I'll give you two examples. I had a client they were in Argentina. They were in Buenos Aires and then up by Iguazu Falls, and there was an airport strike at the airport. They could not leave the country. I got the email before they woke up, and I was able to cancel their plans in the next city, rebook their hotels and where they were staying, and before they even woke up. So that way they didn't have to worry about it when they woke up. If you booked online, you wouldn't have that. Another one, I had a client who was going on a sabbatical for 2 months. He was going to starting in Bali and then Thailand and then Colombia and then some other places. There was a volcanic eruption in Bali a few months ago on the day that he was flying, and so he got stuck in China, and so we had to rebook him to somewhere else before.
This sounds like a Dwayne Johnson movie, by the way.
Well, yeah, but problems happen.
We keep bringing it up.
Yeah,
Problems
no,
happen,
back to Dwayne.
And if you have a
He's
real,
watching.
and if you have a real issue,
boo.
online can help you.
love
But the
you.
reality is that travel agents didn't go away. It's just that the business changed.
Got it.
And I have a personal experience, not with your travel agency. When I went to New Orleans,
Yes.
I did the whole Expedia thing. And then my friend said, work through this travel agent. This was before I knew you were doing it. My hotel was better than I could have ever have paid for. And my curated experience from the check-in, and there's like a new check-in thing. We hate checking in at airports, don't we? It's the worst thing possible. I hate getting early anywhere. I hate having to wait. It's like my pet peeve. There's a way now that we can just like check in faster, right?
There are many ways to check in faster. I mean, I recommend Clear. You guys know Clear? You use your fingerprints and you can advance past everybody. I do pre-check, global entry.
It'll go back to
and
the funeral. Let's start taking in big
But there's things like that as travel agents we know all these different ways to be able to help you to have a better travel experience. If you don't like to wait, we can figure that out. If you like to drink all the time, we can figure out how you can be able to have alcohol at any moment in your trip. So we can do everything.
Wow.
Because you actually build personal relationships with these vendors, which is why
Exactly.
you're better than dealing with Expedia. They don't know who they're talking to.
Exactly.
Right.
And so sometimes you can get better deals.
So, for example, next month I'll be going for 2 weeks in Canada, and I'll be in Edmonton and Alberta and Jasper National Park and Toronto. And while I'm there for the International Gay Lesbian Travel Association Conference, I'll be meeting with literally on one day. I'm meeting like 25 different hotel operators, tourism boards, and different travel people in the industry, and being able to make all these relationships and be able to go to places, see things myself, see hotel rooms, see venues, see places,
That's great.
and be able to know, well, like, no, girl, you want this, you don't want that.
Yes.
I mean,
Is that
or-
how you see it?
Sometimes.
I'm
Or-
calling you
I would
from now
appreciate
on.
it. I'm not gonna
Be
lie.
like,
Girl.
or like for a second,
Sweetie, no,
or
we're
say-
not doing that.
I have a lot of clients who want to go to Puerto Vallarta for their birthdays or whatever else, and I've met the owners of most of the resorts in Puerto Vallarta. I've met like the travel operators, the tour operators, like the restaurants, so on and so forth. I can be able to help them to plan their experience, so that way when they get there, it's very seamless.
I'm gonna need your card.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
SusanJonesTravel.com.
I don't trust
Get it.
anybody from that perspective. Like, if I don't,
Yeah.
I know what I want, and if it's not that, then I'm like, yeah, no way.
Well, then here's the thing. So it's like the people. The other thing I should say, the price you pay for a travel agent, you're not paying anything, because again, the price is booked in when you buy a hotel room or a tour or whatever else. It's already priced in there, so you're not paying extra for it.
I did love that because it was like, if you want to plan a trip, you just know exactly what your budget is going to be.
And then so in terms of like not trusting anybody, we all today travel a lot. So therefore, we think we know everything, and we do know a lot of things. But when you work with a travel agent, they're able to say, like, you can say, I like to be very independent. I like food. I like wine. I like fashion. And then you might have one idea of what you want, but because I'm traveling all the time, I can say, well, did you know that on the Queen Mary 2, they have a Fashion Week cruise where they have fashion shows and fashion industry talks and so on and so forth, and you can be able to like have an amazing experience, and you may not have known about that. Or I can say, if you want to do like something with fitness and health and wellness, that's a big trend in the industry right now, and there are all these trips that are built around like health and wellness and fitness and fashion. I mean health and wellness, fitness, and eating better. And there are ways you can be able to travel and get it all mixed in there. But because
and also Broadway.
Yes. Well, yeah, there's like a.
You want to see Hamilton? Arrange it through a travel agent.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm doing one.
Yep.
I'm doing
honestly.
I'm doing one in July with like Hamilton and 2 other shows.
Can I go?
You can.
I have a question.
Yes.
He's so polite, you guys. Everybody else on the show is
They're like the
ah.
sweetest ever.
Yes, Shane, tell me.
Okay, I just want to step in
Such a
and
gentleman.
ask a question.
Yes,
do you look at the like current climate in certain countries? Like, for example, Brazil. There's a lot of areas that are very dangerous to go to. Are you able to work around that and see like what areas are okay to go to and like plan that for people so that we don't run into like being robbed
or like going to Russia with the gay pride flag?
Right. I've been to Russia twice and I loved it, so it's okay.
They probably loved you.
Well, yeah,
they didn't announce it, but they loved it.
So I'll say first of all that most Americans are hyper afraid of certain places where something happens, but it's actually safer in those countries than it is here in America.
Oh yeah.
So
talking to the LGBT community, there are some places we should not even attempt.
I agree. Let me finish though. But the point is, my thing is, we as Americans, when we hear something in someone, we think that we are the oasis. But in reality, America is more dangerous than most places in the rest of the world. But as gay people, there are places that we should be more aware of going to. When I went to Egypt for the first time a few years ago, in Egypt, they are actually actively trying to find you if you're gay, to entrap you and arrest you. And if you go on
trap music, it's all. Oh my God!
And Egypt and eyeliner.
Yes. and if you go on like Scruff, for example, they will give you an alert message that tells you in Egypt the police are trying to entrap you. Be careful what you do and what you say. And but the thing is, because I travel many places and I work and I have a lot.
And
of
you're super gay.
Yeah. And I'm super gay. But I try to make sure for my travels, because I'm black, I'm gay, I have a very diverse clientele base. I want to make sure that everybody who travels with me are able to be safe, be comfortable, have a good time, and experience things.
Yeah. Well, I'm really proud of everything that you've done.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
All right, so the show, you guys, so fun, but we're running a little late. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a rapid round of your final topic for your industry, right? And then you're going to give where our listeners can listen to you, view you, everything. Who wants to go first?
You.
We just heard him talk for like an hour.
Wait, so you want to do what again? A rapid round?
Yeah, what do you want
So
to
I'm going
do?
to give you your topic. Not that you have to answer it like super fast, but you have to address your topic and then tell our listeners, viewers, where they can find you.
Address your topic.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Yes.
This is
Stephanie.
all new to me. I'm like, I can't screw this up.
So this whole like tech wear in men's fashion, what does that mean? And I'm actually wearing tech wear and I love it. But tell our listeners what tech wear is.
So it's really, we have tech on us all day, every day, right? And so it just makes it more functional so that you have somewhere to put it, which is important. But also if you're on the go too, like LA and different parts of the country or even the world, you're on the move, you're using either a bicycle or you're on the train or whatever the case may be. You want to be able to be comfortable in what you're wearing. And so a lot of it has that stretch. That's what Alexander
You guys,
talking
to the
about.
camera, it looks like a beautiful suit. This is, and you felt this.
Yeah. It's nice.
And it has a mesh in the back to capture like perspiration,
So
and it's like on
breathable and
yeah.
comfortable. That's good.
Yeah. So
and it's resistant to
Trump.
Oh, I was gonna say that,
Who
but this
said
is
that?
a family show.
Is it?
Hi, Mom.
No, but it's like water resistant.
It's resistant. Should I say what Katie said?
Please do.
Stank.
Oh.
I smell beautiful, by the way. If you
We like a little stank here.
Like roses.
But it's like this 2001 Odyssey
pretty cool.
technology that's coming into
That's really
fashion.
cool.
Yeah, I had a client the other day, and I hope he doesn't hate me, but no, I had a client the other day that works for a bank, right? And he's an advisor, financial advisor, and he has to wear his coat and his pants all day, right? And so it's walking on the floor, it's talking, it's sitting. And I put this coat on him, one of the ones that has a lot of stretch and the tech functions on it, and he was like, "Is this real? Like, is this for real?" And you can just see it automatically, like, oh, that makes a big difference. And then he put the pants on, and he's like, "Shut up."
And I'll tell you,
This is freaking
for like different body
amazing.
types, it
Yeah,
clings
I
to where it
love
should, and then it covers up where
Yeah.
it should.
It was Alexander, wasn't it?
Specify.
It probably was. No, but I have to tell you, because I wear this on Tuesdays because I'm all over the place and whatever, and you know, I love it.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
pretty
different
cool.
way of wearing clothes.
Is it
you guys work
affordable?
in high tech?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's super
yeah,
affordable.
super
Awesome.
affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Stephanie, where can we find out more about Men's Warehouse? When we walk into a Men's Warehouse, who should we ask for? Like, what should we do?
Well, if we're doing our job right, we should come to you.
Yes.
I will refer you to the best.
If they're not,
I'll get a little.
You get that? You're all on check now.
Yeah.
If you're not, I'm gonna find you.
I
find you.
Gonna find you.
So, but no, you should be greeted like right when you walk in the door.
But like Instagram, Twitter.
Oh, like social media handles.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Men's Warehouse. We have Facebook. We have literally everything. Twitter.
And you guys, and they
I'm
put
not
up
good at
great
that stuff.
ideas in terms of like casual wear. Casual Fridays has become a whole different thing. Nightclub going has become like, you know,
Yeah.
not your casual Friday. It's like a jockstrap and a t-shirt. Hi guys.
Holler.
Um,
No,
Say
it
that
really
to the
comes
bad
down
thing.
and just kind of piecing everything together. So we talked about custom, talked about the tech wear and all these different things, but the reality is you want to get more for your money, right? We talk about value, so we want to get the most for your money, and get pieces that can kind of flex into nightwear, flex into the business, and flex into casual and that kind of thing. And that's what we do. We have literally everything. So
And the brands I walk away with are Calvin Klein, Kenneth Cole.
yeah, there's outside
it's-
designers, absolutely. There's in-house designers, and from a quality perspective, they're equivalent. And it just depends on if that's important to you. But we have everything, so it's pretty cool.
And follow their
You have
Instagram.
me.
Yes.
Yes.
Amazing.
Also follow Men's Warehouse Instagram. They have sexy men. Do you have the wedding
They do,
picture?
they
I just
do.
have one little quibble with this wedding picture.
Can we collaborate?
Okay, so let me just this wedding picture. The groom is running away from the bride. If you look closely, he's so well fitted. The guy on the right is like, hey.
Yeah.
They look like the same
Wait
person.
a minute. The African American guy is like, knew it. And then the other one on the side is like, that bitch. You could literally make a sitcom about this picture right now. I saw this ad because for wedding, you guys do such a great job with weddings, but this is literally every person has
Yeah.
anyway. Sorry.
It's wedding season right now, too.
Yes,
so.
it is.
And that groom is running away to the next groom. All right, who wants to go next?
I will. I think it's only appropriate that I follow Stephanie. But yeah, it's so true what you said. Or are you?
Go for it.
I don't know if you were asking a question or like.
Yes, I'm asking your final talk
Right,
about
right,
it.
right,
Basic gym etiquette, do's and don'ts. What do people do right? What do they
Put
do
your
wrong?
damn weights back.
Oh, yes.
Don't
Be
on your phone.
self-aware. It is so important to be self-aware in the gym. If you are on,
You take like 10 selfies every time you go.
no,
That's
no.
self-aware.
Are you kidding me? Like I okay. If you ever see me at the gym and I'm on my phone or I'm fiddling with a photo or a selfie, it's in between a rest set. If you need
Right.
to do anything,
Oh,
you
okay.
need to talk
Right.
to somebody. You need to, just waste time, get on Instagram, check out a notification, do it during your rest set. And people can tell if you're doing it during your rest set because they know that you're not just like wandering around, trying to see who you can talk to next. And that's one of the biggest pet peeves is that you need to go into the gym and you need to be respectful of other people's time. Because one of the biggest things that made me switch gyms is that I was at a gym that I was at for more than since before I moved to LA. So probably like 10 plus years. And I changed that gym because people there made it so stressful for me to work out because nobody gave a damn about anybody else but themselves. And when you compile that, it's an extreme insult to anybody who's really there to try to, you know, change their body, change their mindset, or even work in the limited time that they have. And so one of the biggest things I would say is be mindful of the people around you. And you are allowed to be social at the gym. Just do it during your rest sets. That's the biggest thing.
Are you allowed to say no if someone says, can I work in with you?
Of course you can. You can say, I'm sorry, I'm doing a superset. Or,
I think that's rude, though. We're all working out at a public gym.
And you know what?
I'm talking like I know.
And you know what?
I looked at Alexander. I'm like, you and I, honey. We know.
I would say don't
other.
be afraid to like put a trainer in their place. Because there are many places that you go to where trainers think, oh, well, you know, I'm here with a client. Like, I'm getting paid to be here. So, you know, I can take your machine if I want to. It's like, no, boo-boo, you can't. Because we're all paying to be here.
Do you say boo-boo?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like, no.
That's official gym speak.
Yeah. You know, you do it with a finger.
I want to hear Shane say boo-boo.
Yeah.
Boo-boo.
Yeah, it's true. It's like, no, I'm sorry, you can't. Like, you and your client need to wait just the way that I wait, and I respect you when you have something. Like, when I see a trainer, I'm like, you know what? Like, they're on a mission. I'm not going to bother them.
Right.
And they should have that same mindset with you. So don't be intimidated by people at the gym, you know? And also, like, if somebody comes up to you and corrects your form, be thankful for that.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Because the last thing you want to be is that guy on somebody's Instagram feed doing the exercise wrong and they're making fun of you.
It's so funny. I love those fails, by the way.
I mean,
and I was like, that was me last
brutal.
week.
They're hilarious, but you don't want to be that person. So take advice.
So be gracious.
Yeah, be gracious.
Courteous.
Wipe down your machines, and you know, realize like
please.
it's not a high school.
That is the biggest thing.
It's not a high school.
Unless your
locker
fetish
room.
is like sweat.
No, it's disgusting.
And also, you know, going on what Stephanie said, like the way you dress will really affect the way that you walk into a gym. Like there are some times where it's like I'm, you know, ratty as heck, and I'm just kind of getting in and out. But there's some times where like, you know, like I kind of color coordinate. I kind of like, you know, like I'm wearing a pretty awesome fabric, and it makes me look good when I, you know, work out. So that.
Oh yeah, you have to. I coordinate.
If I get to the gym in the first place, that's a great thing. I'll have weird shorts and like my pajama top.
Stop it.
At least I made it.
Pajama top.
You're not allowed to go.
But you actually
and a tie
officially.
And a tie.
I swear to God, I'll have my Joseph Abood custom gym.
Yeah.
No, but you actually have. You're wearing one of your lines.
Yes, I am, and I am wearing. You know, I mean, I always try to make it a point to wear one piece of Iron Faith clothing throughout the day, whether it's at the gym or whether it's.
And it looks classic. It looks respectful.
Right. Exactly. And thank you. I designed the logo like probably back in 2012, I think. And you know, I like to everything that I do has some kind of an aspect of faith or family because those are the languages that I speak the most and that I understand the most.
Yeah, that's great.
And so, for instance, like this, if you can see, like
what's
this
FE?
is FE is the chemical symbol for iron.
Okay.
You know, because it has the box around it. But FE, for those of you who are bilingual, is how you say faith in Spanish. So fe is faith. And so,
but it's open faith. It's not like some Christian.
Exactly. Hence, you know,
not there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah,
But it's very open.
You know, hence iron faith because it's kind of like it's like a pun. It's bridging the scientific and the spiritual, and bridging you know the American and the bilingual Mexican American or you know Latino American Spanish style. And you know, going on what you said, it's like I am Catholic. I was raised Catholic. That's the language.
Roman Catholic. If I were to adopt a kid, I would raise them Catholic.
Yeah, it's like that's the language that I speak that I understand faith the best in. Some people understand it through yoga. Some understand it through, you know, being Protestant, you know, whatever. And faith does not mean God. Faith is a belief in something that cannot be proven. That is the definition of faith. So anybody who tells you that faith is just God, it's like, no, but faith can be used to describe God, yes. And iron is something that is unyielding and inflexible. So the entire brand stands for an unyielding, inflexible belief in something you cannot prove. And that can be ascribed.
My waistline. I love it.
And that can be ascribed.
Can I have
to
an entire
whatever.
box?
Oh my God!
You can.
But you do women's and men's. In fact, you're offering our listeners a little something.
Yeah, we do. We have a little 15% discount if you go to our website.
And it's affordably priced already. So 50% is like.
It's very simple. It's haveironfaith.com. And you know, you type in at checkout the code on the rocks, all lowercase, all one word. So you know, rack up whatever you want. I'm wearing our larger than life tank, which is a nice, you know, tri-blend, so it fits really nicely. or a polycotton
It does fit
blend.
nicely.
I know.
yes.
I was looking at that sweatshirt.
And then
I was like,
have,
so
That is the cutest
the
sweatshirt.
hoodie.
I have our I can't
It's
help me, Vincent.
Uh-oh, here you go.
So I have our
Babe, my birthday's coming up.
Oh, that is so cute.
Can you imagine if we were wearing an FE behind the DJ booth?
to come in pink. So if you
Oh
you
my
zip
God,
it
that's
up, and it says, you know,
adorable.
Iron Faith. It's our Iron Faithful hoodie, zip up hoodie. I'm like so tactily wearing it the way that I'm wearing it. But yeah, so you know, it's not outrageously priced because we want to make, you know, faith should be affordable to everyone. Yeah. And you know, so it's a passion project that my business partner Amanda and I, you know, have been working really hard at. We actually have an event coming out next on May the 1st. We were invited by FCA, which is the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, out in Laredo, Texas, where we're
They're
based.
the best in bed, by the way.
Hey,
You're terrible.
I have no
Mormons
comments
and
on
Christians, awesome.
Well, they're always on their knees.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Did you just take it that way?
I didn't take it anywhere. I'm a top.
Oh, okay, Hawaii.
We're the same. We're blouses. We're feminine tops.
Yes.
Oh my God. That's so funny.
Wow, that got real. Okay. All right, speed it up. Come on.
As you were saying,
Go,
well, we
sorry.
do sell many tops, so tank tops, you know, crews, V-necks. So yeah, check it out. HaveIronFaith.com. Type in the code on the rocks, all lowercase, all one word at checkout. Get 15% off, and wear your faith on your sleeves.
Okay.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
I love it.
Love it.
And we're going to promote it all month long, along with 11 for men.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, who's next?
I'll go quick.
I'll go.
Oh.
Oh, you go. He said first. That's fine.
Vincent. Common mistakes
Alexander.
travelers make. And make it snappy. Don't give us one of your...
A common mistake travelers make, I think they go places with their preconceived idea of what they're going to do, and they don't let the experience just overtake them and kind of be one with the moment. Because you go places, and America doesn't say a lot about other places and the media and the news, so people don't really have a full understanding of that culture, that community, that country.
I love that so much.
And what I found, some of my best trips, I just kind of go and let it all happen. I will have a little bit of things planned, but you have to really allow yourself to be immersed in the culture to truly experience it. And you come back changed and everything else. The second thing I will say is you have to use a travel agent to make sure.
How did I know that was coming?
Available on iTunes.
I will tell you, though, when you show up at your destination, he'll pop up somewhere.
Yeah.
He'll be like...
But when you use a travel agent, I sometimes possibly, but you use a travel agent, they make sure that when they hear what you say, hear what you don't say in between the lines, and try to make sure that you really have that true experience.
Yeah.
So that way, the things that you might experience like a mistake or a problem or whatever else, try to ignore all that. Try to have you have the best experience possible.
Yeah.
And I
You
would
have
say
a partner in it, so
you have
it's not
partner.
just
Right,
you.
exactly.
So you're not
So, for
feeling
example,
like you're like on your own.
Yeah, like I had clients who were in Lisbon, in Portugal recently, and they were texting me throughout the way, and they will say, they were in this one part in the south, supposed to be very pretty by the beach, but it was raining. So they're like,
bummer.
what do we do? So I was like, well, go here or go there or do this. So there's just stuff that you don't always know if you've never been there before, but we do.
Right.
And you can go to the website, citizenjonetravels.com, to find out about our curated experiences. Or on Facebook, we have a little community where you can be able to get different travel inspiration and different ideas. But like a lot of what
And your Instagram, what's your Instagram?
Instagram is citizenjonettravel.com. I don't have a buy like this or like that, but
You guys, it's so fun though to see him in every different scenario. We played some of the pictures from. I just love seeing you travel.
Because I think part of the thing is people don't always. They have to. I want to show part of my idea with the with the company in general is I was born to a teenage single mother in Compton, and people believe that they can't travel, and I travel. And I've been able to figure out how to do it through my whole life. And we all can travel. We all can be able to do it. So Citizens Don't Travel means that we all are a part of this world. We all are able to explore the world. It's all about your priorities.
Yeah,
and we can
that's
go to
cool. I
places
love
that
that.
whatever your dreams are, you can be able to achieve them.
You guys, tonight's all about aren't we the coolest kids
We
ever?
are so cool.
Right.
All right, who's next?
I'll go. Dun dun dun.
It's a whole separate
That
page.
was a sigh.
Deep
I have a
voice.
question.
Deep voice, please. Deep voice. Deep voice.
Do's and don'ts when dealing with a DJ. Are we still allowed to request songs?
No.
So you just did away with all the do's and don'ts.
The number one
Okay.
thing you do not do
No, but no,
is
that's
request a
perfect.
song. Unless you want to get ejected from the DJ booth, like in a really nasty way.
But that's an LA thing. It's like, what song do you want? And they're
It's
like,
everywhere for me.
Britney,
Like,
Britney, Britney.
I just went to Akron, Ohio, and played in Akron.
Akron.
Yeah, and they literally every 5 minutes, people coming up to me, can you play? And I'm like, does it really sound like I play Kanye West? Like I play like fucking house music,
Right?
You know, like
Yeah.
come on.
So
That must be annoying.
This is
It's annoying. It's annoying, and I don't have a quarter slots in my body, so I don't take requests.
Oh.
Like,
Do you drink while you spin?
sometimes, yes.
Do you have
Here's how he
dollar
drinks. So he's like, I mean, you're professional. 'Cause
That's
when
amazing. No,
I say hi to Shane at the beginning. I'm like, hey, Shane. And at the end, I'm like, Shane, can you drive me home? Are we alive? Should we go to Denny's or Norm's?
You're like, where?
Okay, and also follow up real fast. Surviving Coachella. The top 2 tips of surviving Coachella.
Number one, I'm going to say 3. Number 1 is hydrate.
Yeah.
Number 2 is sleep. Okay, and number 3 is look out for your friends.
Right.
Okay, make sure you're looking out for the people who
Shane
are with.
is the guy to be with.
No,
That
I'm
is
very
so
serious.
fun.
I'm very serious because it's like it gets very hot out there, and there's a lot of dust, and there's a lot of things going on, and it's easy to get lost. It's easy to fall out. It's easy to whatever. So just look out for each other. You know.
Next year we're going together.
Especially
Yes,
if you're
let's
not
do it.
used to
Yeah.
the
Is it
heat.
true
I
that,
lived
like,
in the desert my whole
Coachella
life.
is, like, some
if
kind
you
of
don't know what you're
right-wing
doing, that's a
thing?
bad situation.
No, that whole thing
Yeah.
is so stupid.
Is it
I didn't
just-
even bring it
I
up
don't believe
because-
it. I brought it up because I just.
well,
That's a whole episode.
Let me address that real quick. To anybody who posts that shit, stop politicizing everything and let people have some goddamn fun. Period.
Because in the end, so the company.
Seriously.
But if your
Company,
money's
yes.
going
No, no, no,
towards
no, no.
something,
The
I have no idea.
So that
See
guy
what I
owns
saw.
AEG. He does
Exactly.
not own Golden Voice.
They
I just
do
want to
own-
stare up the pot.
AG owns-
I know, but there's
this
there's
is
an
like
owner-
episode 2 of this, and Kurt's like, can I just go home to my wife?
But I'm agreeing with you. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, people at the end of the day, every single major corporation, there is a Republican involved with it.
Right.
So therefore,
It's like everything we
Republicans
do.
are not bad, by the way. We're not saying
Exactly.
that. Hi, listeners.
Yeah.
No.
Right. No. It's, and you're right. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, what are we gonna do? Like, stop
Not do
eating
anything.
everything and stop
Yeah.
doing everything fun
Yeah.
because somebody is a Republican? Like, stop it.
Yeah,
Like,
I get it.
You know, just go have fun and let people go have
Because
fun. And
Chick-fil-A is
if
so
you don't,
good.
if you don't want to do it, then
It is.
if
Oh
you
my
don't
God,
want to
their
do it,
salad is so
if you don't want to do it because you
don't like
salad.
because you don't agree with it, then don't do it.
Yeah,
at the
that's
same-
easy.
At
That's
the,
all it is.
At the
Period.
same time, there are a bunch of other people involved with AEG and Coachella who are supporting gay causes and other
Right.
progressive causes who are making money from it.
Beyonce
who are
is the
supporting it.
gayest contributor just by walking on
Not
stage.
really. Ah, I'm just kidding.
Excuse me.
Shane, where can our listeners find you?
Okay. I'm at DJ Shane Steele on Instagram, and I'm also at House of Steel Fitness on Instagram. So HAUS of STIEL Fitness. You can also find me on Facebook, DJ Shane Steele.
Oh.
And you guys download his
That's like a
mixes
DJ.
because
That sounds
it'll
like it's
keep you
called
going
a
for
DJ.
whatever
Oh, on iTunes and
you,
shit, yeah,
you
you find
need.
it all.
When I go
Oh, when
running,
your tour
I'm
dates
gonna
are
be
there
like,
too.
Just Google my name.
Tour dates.
All right.
I can't remember all my tour dates. You got to look it up.
Yeah, they're great, by the way.
It's a whole summer. It's a whole summer.
That's the start. I was like, whatever. Yes. Who's
Thanks for
next?
having me again.
I'll go.
Steven. When should a couple start tying their finances together?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is such a good question.
We
That
need to
is.
know this.
Because my answer is never.
Well,
Wait, never?
Never.
It's really personal. You know, we've had clients that were married, got divorced over money, married other people, got divorced, and then remarried each other and had separate finances.
They must be
and
gay.
They're not at all.
No, that's-
and it worked very, very well. I think couples who meet very young in life before they're established, it's much easier to tie finances because there's not much there in the way of complexity. And if things go south, there's not much to untie that. When people get married for a second marriage, especially with second marriages, they've been through that all. They know the pitfalls. They know that money is the biggest problem when it comes
Right.
to long marriages or long relationships. And many of them will choose to have, your money, my money, and our money, and have some joint assets like a house or something like that. But, if you have somebody who is more of a spendthrift, right, and you have all of the money as our money, and you don't want to be constantly judging the other person for how they're spending.
It builds
our
resentment,
money.
right?
Eventually,
Right.
it
Yeah.
does. Eventually, it does.
That
and,
makes such a good
And
point.
you don't want
Yeah, it
someone
really
to buy
does.
that or to not buy that top that you think is silly, but they have
Or like
to
a
have
Star
it.
Trek collectible that costs
Right.
$2,000.
If you've got your money,
Oh
our
my
money,
God.
I will do it.
It better spin.
I love Star Trek.
So I think
Are you
it's-
watching the new one?
Yes, I am. In
Oh.
fact, we're having some of the stars on.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it.
What row?
So I think just be realistic about it.
Yeah.
Don't do it because your friends are doing it, because your parents did it. Definitely talk with your partner, because communication is key anyway.
There you go.
You guys need to have like your own show. You guys are like the perfect couple. I think you guys are from Westworld. You're like androids. You're like, we're the perfect couple. We're the perfect
But
couple.
if you're married, does it matter? Because it's already entwined.
I know married
legally.
couples. In fact, we know some that never have had a joint checking account, and I think that shows.
Never.
But isn't it? But
I think it
legally-
shows rudeness.
But legally,
No, it's not
isn't it?
rude.
Isn't that?
Are
doesn't
you
really
kidding
matter?
me?
My
Are you
girl-
kidding me?
No, that's not rude.
If you won't share your checking account with your spouse, then there's problems. Am
But
I
you
wrong?
share the
You're
main
wrong.
one,
But
but
see,
you have
that-
a secondary.
But
account.
Thank you.
But legally,
have
it's
some
all
joy.
the same thing.
I think a lot of that is state by state as far as what's community property,
Well,
and what's
that's
your
true.
property.
I mean,
versus,
California's a
his or her
community,
property.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I'm
so-
just in shock.
But a lot of people will have a prenup, right? And
Well,
and
that,
because
yeah.
that may if I
Who
came
won't
in with
prenup?
if I came in with X
we
Y
won't
Z.
prenup. Yeah.
So and it doesn't it doesn't mean
You do like
that,
Kanye.
A little bit.
I don't
Only
think it
something.
means that there's a problem in the relationship.
No.
I mean, I think if you're willing to have the
Not at all.
communication to the point that you can agree that that's okay with both of you,
Like an
Yeah.
open
Then
relationship?
then that's great. You either have it beforehand or you have it afterwards, and it gets messy.
A post nut.
It's all about communication, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's communicating.
Stephen, where can our listeners find out more about you, and where can they ask you financial questions?
We are based in upstate New York. We've got clients all over the country on both coasts. We're having dinner with clients in Silver Lake on Friday, so we're out here. I'm out here about every other month.
They're going to invest in leather.
The good kind.
Is there a bad leather?
Yes.
Touche.
But our
Fake
website
leather.
is Sterling Manor. That's MANOR financial.com. And the internet's a wonderful thing. We've got a lot of clients that we start with locally that retire and move across the country, and we still have had we've been around for 12 years as an independent company, and we still work with clients everywhere, about 18 or 20
And
states.
Stephen, thank you so much for the money you guys give to the young people in the community. I find
Wow.
that so great.
Yeah,
I know when can I just say when I just met him, he did that video that they're showing right there.
Yeah.
And I just died.
Oh,
yeah.
It
Our
made me
Rotary
fall for
Club-
him
What
so hard.
financial company would let you have that haircut, by the way?
I'm the boss. I'm a partner. We've got two partners, and I do what I want. So
He's hip to be cool. You know what I'm saying?
But I think it's like,
We're like the poster couple.
oh God, it makes me sick.
How'd you guys meet?
Makes me sick and sad at the same time.
On
Like,
Scruff. Orlando Gay Days.
On Scruff?
You met on what?
no.
In Gay Days in Orlando.
There's no,
At Disney, at Gay Days at Disneyland.
but there's no bad thing about
That
meeting
is
on
the
Scruff, by
cutest
the way.
thing.
Isn't it?
Please tell me the tiki room.
No.
Oh.
No.
That is
No.
too gay.
Excuse me.
It was at the pool.
They're lesbian. It was like a
Oh.
rare country.
I saw his
or
eyes
something.
from across the pool and I died.
Oh my
Oh my
Stop
God!
it.
Can we do a photo shoot? I have a
Yeah.
It's like two X-Men waiting for a movie. Right? Nolan,
yes.
it's up to you.
Can I have your makeup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Working with big
It's on
celebs.
sale right now.
Working with big celebs, and this is actually my question to you. Working with big celebs, how do you deal with like starstruck? Like you've worked with some of the big names. When I have certain people come in, they come in literally with like 1 second to spare to do sound check. We never get to develop this, and I love entertainment.
It's the same way when you do makeup. Like you're on a time budget, and their managers are like, expect you to do a full face and lashes and everything in like 5 minutes. So it's never like a moment where you're starstruck. You're just there to work.
But with makeup, you have to develop some trust, like in terms of like being a personal trainer to certain people. You have to develop this trust.
Right, and you get your clients that you keep for a while, and then you have things that you work for, like campaigns. You see them for one shoot only. So
It's kind of sad. It's like, well,
Yeah.
we're friend forever.
Right,
yeah, I mean it's fun, but it's stressful because no celebrity stays still when you're doing their makeup. You know what I mean? Like they're always moving. So yeah, it's frustrating.
All right, where can
I
our
prefer not
listeners, and viewers buy 11 for Men?
Oh, you can go to www.11formen.com. That's spelled out 11 for Men. You can follow us on Instagram 11 for Men or Facebook 11 for Men or my Instagram at Nolan R11 and Nolan Robert.
How about the other Instagram?
I have a lot.
Anyway,
I have to approve it though.
Anyway, but for the next month, and you can look for, I'm going to make a little graphic for our social media. You are offering our On the Rocks listeners
15% off, yes.
Yeah, which is great. You can get your own box, so everything you need to go out from work to nightlife to everything.
Yes.
You guys, this has been such a fun episode.
Alexander, I'll give a little discount to your listeners.
It's not for your bedroom.
No, only one person had that discount.
Chad Michael Chad.
No.
Do you see how I bring it all round?
But no, so I'm doing a trip to Tel Aviv for Pride in
Tel
June.
Aviv. You guys, I've been to Israel twice. It is life-changing.
so
Sorry, I'm selling your own product.
No,
Go
it's
ahead.
great. It's great. No, for your listeners, I'll give them a $100 discount off of our curated experience.
A $4,000 trip. Awesome.
It's not $4,000.
I'm just kidding.
For Tel Aviv Pride, especially if you come.
That's awesome.
In June,
I should be emceeing.
You should be there.
Yes.
Is there a code word for this discount?
On the rocks.
Oh, there you go.
Cool.
Did you see him just
He's
make
like,
it up?
when
in
I
his
get
mind?
home,
On the rock.
it'll be.
But
No, but he'll make your trip great. I'm just kidding.
But no, you
Tel
should-
Aviv
we
Pride
should
is
do
one
it.
of the most important prides in the
Yeah.
world because it breaks so many barriers, and they've gone through so much, and it's actually now.
And there are
supported-
hot guys, and there's lots of great parties.
I don't care about hot guys.
And-
I care about
yes,
hot
we do.
inside.
No, you
and,
don't.
And but it's an amazing experience. You get to get a little bit of history, the Dead Sea, Jerusalem, and the parties, and Alexander on
on the side.
on the side.
On the side.
Israeli men have the best credit.
On the rocks,
Kurt,
on the
thank
side.
you so much. We went over.
Thanks,
Kurt
Kurt.
needs to go home to his wife.
Oh,
Give a big wave to Kurt. Kurt, we love you.
I didn't know
Our
that.
listeners, thank you so much. Every week, you never know who's going to show up. Next week is a whole entrepreneur with Rachel Lynn McCord, owner of Testloop, and Sean Griffin, who is one of the richest, youngest men in the world. And he's straight.
He's straight.
Tune in. Yes, yes. Oh, the cast of Vanderpump Rules is coming in, by the way, too. Boom, boom. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye. See you next Tuesday.
This has been On the Rocks with Alexander, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Universal Broadcasting Network. Find me on Facebook on The Rocks Radio Show. Tweet me or Instagram me at On The Rocks On Air. See you next Tuesday.